Chapter 28:16. As soon as Duan Ling Tian returned to his residence in the Tai Celestial Sect's estate, he took the Memory Celestial Talisman and the 2 royal-grade celestial weapons from Huan and stored them in his spatial ring. In the next moment, Master Duan! Master Duan! 3 familiar voices rang in the air, startling Duan Lingtian. Why are they here? Duan Ling Tian was familiar with the voices. They belonged to the 3 prominent celestial alchemists from the Tai Celestial Sect. Master Situ, Master Yang, and Master Yu. Why are all of you here? Duan Ling Tian invited Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing into the front courtyard of his residence. Huaner had already left the front courtyard and returned to her room. Master Duan, we've heard from the sect leader that your trip to the little world this time is extremely dangerous. Situ Ming said with a solemn expression. If we knew the little world was so dangerous, we would have stopped you no matter what. Yang Chong said solemnly. That's right. Yu Zhongjing nodded in agreement. Almost died? That's a bit of an exaggeration. Didn't I come out alive? Duan Ling Tian shook his head and smiled. He was the only one who knew how dangerous the little world was before he entered it. He knew he would not be in danger as long as he entered the little world with Huan. However, due to various reasons, he could not tell them this. Master Duan, we heard that among the 8 great overarching golden celestials who entered the little world, only 3 of them, including you, came out alive. Yang Chang's expression turned even more solemn. That's right. Apart from you, only 2 great overarching golden celestials from the Martial Dragon Celestial Sect survived. Moreover, one of them had a breakthrough and became a great overarching golden celestial after entering the little world. Situ Ming nodded in agreement. It's not worth it. We didn't get anything out of it. Yu Zhongjing said. Situ Ming and the other two's concern came from the bottom of their hearts. Duan Ling Tian could clearly feel this. It was also because of this that his heart felt warm. Right? Duan Ling Tian could not stand the solemn expression on Situ Ming and the other 2 celestial alchemists' faces. He quickly changed the topic and asked, Masters, are there any Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities in the sect? Now that he had become an overarching heavenly supreme celestial and obtained the king-grade cultivation method, the Tai Profound technique, Duan Ling Tian hoped to master higher-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. Currently, the only divine ability he had mastered was the assist-type divine ability, the elementary devouring tactic, which was a heaven-grade divine ability. His other divine abilities were only earth-grade divine abilities. As for immortal spells, the Supreme Sword Dao Mental Cultivation Method, the Sovereign Heart Sword, bestowed upon him was only comparable to an earth-grade immortal spell. Immortal arts and divine abilities were the same as cultivation techniques. Above the heaven rank were the monarch rank, king rank, and emperor rank. Now, this was what Duan Ling Tian thought. If there were any Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities in the Tai Celestial Sect, he would not mind mastering them to replace his current Earth-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. However, if there were only heaven-grade celestial methods and divine abilities, he would not bother comprehending them. After all, it would be a waste of time. After spending some time mastering the heaven-grade celestial methods and divine abilities and making them stronger than his current earth-grade celestial methods and divine abilities, he might be able to learn higher-grade Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. For this reason, Duan Ling Tian wanted to learn higher-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. There's only one Duke-grade celestial method in the sect. However, it's a movement celestial method. As for divine abilities, there are 2. One is an assist-type divine ability, and the other is an offensive divine ability. Situ Ming said, Master Duan, if you're interested in comprehending Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities, the 3 of us will accompany you to the sect leader. I'm sure he won't reject you. After all, Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities are not as important as Duke-grade cultivation methods. If you want the Duke-grade celestial method and divine abilities in the sect, there's nothing we can do. However, if you only want the Duke-grade celestial method and divine abilities, we're confident that the sect leader will agree to it, Yang Zhong said. Duan Ling Tian nodded. That's right. Yu Zhongjing nodded. In that case, I'll have to trouble the three of you to come with me. Duan Lingtian's eyes brightened when he heard Sidu Ming and the other two's words. He did not expect the Tai celestial sect would really have Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. Moreover, he had a chance to learn them. He was interested in the Tai celestial sect's Duke-grade celestial method. Of the two monarch-grade divine abilities, he was only interested in the offensive divine ability because he had already mastered the heaven-grade divine ability, the elementary devouring tactic. There was no need for him to waste too much time comprehending the monarch-grade divine ability. Perhaps, before he fully grasped that monarch-grade support divine ability, he would already be able to come into contact with a higher-level monarch-grade support divine ability. However, before he completely mastered the Duke-grade divine ability, the Duke-grade divine ability might not be as powerful as his elementary devouring tactic. Under such circumstances, Duan Lingtian naturally had a choice. It was just as Sidu Ming had said. When Duan Lingtian, Sidu Ming, and Duan Lingtian went to look for Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, Bai Ping readily handed over the only Duke-grade celestial method and offensive divine ability to Duan Lingtian. Master Duan, even if you come alone, I'll still give you these celestial methods and divine abilities. As for the monarch-level cultivation method in the sect, because of the sect's rules, I can't be biased. So, I can't help you. I can't help you, Bai Ping said bluntly to Duan Lingtian. He had long heard about Duan Lingtian's intention to cultivate the Tai celestial sect's Duke-grade cultivation method. That was why he had spoken up. However, he was unaware that Duan Lingtian was not interested in Duan Lingtian. Currently, Duan Lingtian was not interested in the Duke-grade celestial method in the Tai celestial sect at all. After all, he had already cultivated the King-grade celestial method, the Tai profound method. It was the King-grade celestial method that Du Fei, a 10-directions celestial duke, had given to Duan Lingtian by the owner of the Little World. Thank you, sect leader. Duan Lingtian was, naturally, grateful for Bai Ping's words. After all, he was no longer interested in the Duke-grade celestial method. After leaving Bai Ping's residence, Yang Chong seemed to have thought of something. He said to Duan Lingtian, Master Duan, if you want other celestial methods and divine abilities, there's a chance for you to obtain them. The Alchemy Conference will be held in 2 years. The Alchemy Conference? Duan Lingtian had a blank expression on his face because this was his first time hearing about the Alchemy Conference. The Alchemy Conference is a grand event jointly held by the Wasteland and the neighboring regions. It's held once every 30 years. During the Alchemy Conference, the celestial alchemists from the Wasteland and the neighboring regions will exchange knowledge about alchemy, Sidu Ming explained. Situ Ming said, it's inevitable that some celestial alchemists are dissatisfied with other celestial alchemists and would propose a competition in alchemy. Some celestial alchemists would even use Duke-grade celestial methods or divine abilities as a wager. There are many Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities that are both offensive and defensive. In fact, there might even be some Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities that are both offensive and defensive. When Situ Ming finished speaking, he looked at Duan Lingtian meaningfully. A triple-trait Duke-grade celestial method and divine ability with both offense and defense? Upon hearing Situ Ming's words, Duan Lingtian's breathing quickened. It should be noted that in the Devata realms, a single celestial method or divine ability was not as valuable as a dual offensive or defensive celestial method or divine ability. For example, the time it would take a person to comprehend 2 offensive and defensive celestial methods to a certain level was much longer than the time it would take to comprehend 1 offensive and defensive celestial method to a certain level. The difference in the time it would take to comprehend the celestial method and divine ability would have the same effect in battle. Therefore, if given the choice, no matter who it was, they would choose to comprehend an offensive and defensive celestial technique instead of 2 offensive and defensive celestial techniques. The latter would have to be comprehended separately while the former could be comprehended together. This would save a lot of time. It was the same for divine abilities. For this reason, the value of offensive and defensive celestial methods and divine abilities was much higher than offensive and defensive celestial methods and divine abilities of the same grade in the Devata realms. The latter was much more valuable than offensive, defensive, and movement immortal methods and divine abilities. The Alchemy Conference will be held in 2 years? Duan Ling Tian's eyes shone brightly as he asked Sidiming. Yes. Sidiming nodded and said, "It's a coincidence. The Alchemy Conference will be held in the barren land that's adjacent to the wasteland." In the past, the celestial alchemists of the wasteland only attended the alchemy conferences to watch the show. This time, with Master Duan's participation, the celestial alchemists of the wasteland will have a chance to shine. Yang Chong said with a smile, "Master Duan, with your cauldron heating speed, no one in the wasteland can compare to you." "That's right. Master Duan, just find a wealthy celestial alchemist and compete with him in cauldron heating speed. You'll definitely win." Situ Ming chimed in. "We'll only compete in cauldron heating?" Duan Ling Tian was taken aback. "Is that even possible? However, if I want to bet on Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities, I'll have to put something up, right?" Although Duan Ling Tian was confident in his cauldron heating speed due to the chaos divine flame, he did not let his excitement get the better of him, so he asked Situ Ming and the other 2 celestial alchemists. If he wanted to bet with someone, he had to put something up, right? Chapter 28:17. You're right. Duan Lingtian's words were like a bucket of cold water that was splashed on Situ Ming and the others. After a few moments, Situ Ming gritted his teeth and said, "Master Duan, at most, we'll ask the sect to use the Duke-grade celestial method and the 2 Duke-grade divine abilities as a bet. After all, with your insane heating speed, you'll definitely win if you compete with others in heating cauldrons. At most, you can share the other Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities with the sect. This is a good thing for the sect as well." Situ Ming said. "That's right." As soon as Situ Ming finished speaking, Yang Chong nodded in agreement. "I believe that as long as Master Duan demonstrates his cauldron heating speed in front of the sect leader will definitely agree to this matter. Let's take a step back and assume the sect is willing to use the Duke-grade celestial method and the 2 Duke-grade divine abilities as a bet. Even if Master Duan loses the bet, the Duke-grade celestial method and the 2 Duke-grade divine abilities will still belong to the sect." Yang Chong said, "In the Devata realms, those who had comprehended a celestial method or divine ability to its peak would be able to inscribe the celestial method or divine ability on a memory celestial talisman for others to comprehend. In the Tai celestial sect, apart from the memory celestial talisman given to Duan Ling Tian by the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, there were many spare memory celestial talismans for the celestial method and the 2 divine abilities. Even without the spare memory celestial talismans, let alone the 8 trigrams celestial duke of the Tai celestial sect, Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, had comprehended the celestial method and the 2 divine abilities to its peak. If we win, the sect will be able to obtain a Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability that has both offensive and defensive attributes." Yang Chong's eyes shone brightly when he spoke. "If I want to bet a double-trait Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability, I'm afraid I'll have to use the sect's Duke-grade celestial method and 2 other Duke-grade divine abilities together, right?" Duan Ling Tian asked. "Of course." Situ Ming said matter-of-factly, "A Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability that has both offensive and defensive attributes. If you only have 2 Duke-grade celestial methods or divine abilities, no one will bet with you. At least 3 Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities." Duan Ling Tian nodded. He could understand. After all, immortal methods and divine abilities that had both offensive and defensive attributes were not something that a single immortal method or divine ability could compare to when compared to immortal methods and divine abilities of the same level. For example, for the same person, it would take 10 years to fully comprehend a movement-type immortal art or divine ability, as well as an offensive-type immortal art or divine ability, for a total of 20 years. If he were to study immortal spells and divine abilities of the same level, it would only take him 15 years at most. but spending 20 years and 15 years would result in the same increase in strength. Under such circumstances, the value of an immortal method or divine ability that had both attack and speed was naturally incomparable to a single immortal method or divine ability of the same level. Go. Let's look for the sect leader, Yu Zhongjing said without hesitation. Duan Lingtian and the others who had just left the residence of Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Yi Celestial Sect, suddenly turned around. Alchemists, what are you doing? Bai Ping asked in confusion when he saw Duan Lingtian and the others had returned. Sect leader. Situ Ming was the first to step forward and said, "It's like this." Situ Ming told Bai Ping about Duan Lingtian's plan to participate in the alchemy conference 2 years later. He also told Bai Ping about their plans. Immortal methods and divine abilities that have both offensive and defensive attributes? Even Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Yi Celestial Sect, felt his breathing quicken when he heard the 2 celestial methods and divine abilities. In the wasteland, only the 3 major celestial sects, including the Tai Yi Celestial Sect, possessed Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. However, the 3 major celestial sects only possessed 1 Duke-grade celestial method and divine ability. He did not have any Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities that were both offensive and defensive, or offensive and speedy. For this reason, even Bai Ping could not help but feel excited when he heard there was a chance to obtain the 2 Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. Master Duan, are you really confident? Bai Ping asked solemnly as he looked at Duan Lingnan. Sect leader. Before Duan Lingtian could reply, Yang Chong said bluntly, "Although you're not a celestial alchemist, you should know how long it takes prominent celestial alchemists to heat their cauldrons, right?" "Yes, I do." Bai Ping nodded. Among the prominent celestial alchemists in the wasteland, alchemist Xiao Yuchan from the Thousand Spiders Celestial Sect is the fastest in heating cauldrons. It seems like he only needs 8 hours to heat up a prominent celestial pill cauldron. After that, it's Alchemist Yu's turn. Alchemist Yu, your heating speed seems to be around 8.5 hours? Bai Ping looked at Yu Zhongjing. That's right. Yu Zhongjing nodded. If it was before he witnessed Duan Lingtian's cauldron heating speed, he would definitely be conceited and proud when he heard Bai Ping's words. However, at this moment, he did not feel proud at all. This was because Duan Lingtian was a freak who only needed half an hour to heat up a cauldron. Since the 3 of you are so confident in your heating speed, I'm sure you only need 6 hours to heat up a cauldron, right? After Yu Zhongjing nodded in response, Bai Ping shifted his gaze to Duan Lingtian again. His eyes were filled with anticipation. Before Duan Lingtian appeared, Xiao Yuchan from the Thousand Spiders Celestial Sect was the fastest prominent celestial alchemist in the wasteland who only needed 8 hours to heat up a cauldron. However, Xiao Yuchan's heating speed could only be considered the fastest in the wasteland. Compared to the surrounding regions, it wasn't much. In Bai Ping's opinion, unless Duan Lingtian's heating speed did not exceed 6 hours, it would be difficult for Duan Lingtian to be the fastest prominent celestial alchemist in the surrounding regions. 6 hours? Upon hearing Bai Ping's words, Duan Lingtian was stunned. At this moment, Duan Lingtian only had one thought in his mind. Is sect leader Bai Ping scolding me? On the other side, the other 3 prominent celestial alchemists from the Tai Yi Celestial Sect, Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing, felt their lips twitch when they heard Bai Ping's question to Duan Lingtian. What? Master Duan's heating speed is more than 6 hours? When Bai Ping saw the stunned expression on Duan Lingtian's face and the twitching expression on Situ Ming and the other 2's faces, he thought Duan Lingtian must have imagined things too well. Before Duan Lingtian and the other 2 prominent celestial alchemists could reply, Bai Ping smiled wryly. You can't heat up more than 6.5 hours, right? Bai Ping looked at Duan Lingtian eagerly after he finished speaking. Sush. Duan Lingtian raised his hand and took out his prominent celestial pill cauldron. He began to refine the pill. The pill he was going to refine was none other than the overarching heaven pill. Upon seeing Duan Lingtian's actions, Bai Ping, naturally, knew Duan Lingtian was going to show him the heating speed of the cauldron. Bai Ping did not say anything and continued to watch Duan Lingtian intently. He's heating the cauldron now, After a while, he saw Duan Lingtian taking out a gray prominent celestial fire and heating the cauldron. Half an hour later. Him? Bai Ping, who was watching Duan Lingtian heating the cauldron, was confused when he saw Duan Lingtian had stopped heating the cauldron. Moreover, Duan Lingtian had even taken out the herbs he needed to refine the pill. What's going on? Half an hour? That's impossible, right? Even if Master Duan is trying to trick me, there's no need for him to stop heating the cauldron after half an hour, right? It's impossible for him to refine the pill. Bai Ping shook his head. He felt Duan Lingtian had given up on refining the pill. When Bai Ping saw Duan Lingtian refining a cauldron of prominent celestial pills, the overarching heaven pills, his expression froze. A hint of disbelief could be seen on his face when he saw Duan Lingtian refining a cauldron of prominent celestial pills. How's this possible? He only heated the cauldron for half an hour, and he successfully refined the prominent celestial pill, the overarching heaven pill. Heavens! Am I dreaming? Although Bai Ping was the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect and had seen many things in his life, he was still shocked. For a moment, he even wondered if he was dreaming. A moment later, after confirming that he was not dreaming, a look of ecstasy appeared on Bai Ping's face. Master Duan. Bai Ping stared at Duan Lingtian with bright eyes as though he was looking at a precious treasure. You'll be participating in the alchemy conference in 2 years. You can do whatever you want with the Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities of the Tai celestial sect. Thank you, sect leader. A smile appeared on Duan Lingtian's face. He finally had something he could use as a wager for the alchemy conference in 2 years. Although he could also use the king-grade celestial weapon he obtained from the little world, he could not reveal it to the 3 major celestial sects of the wasteland. Otherwise, the light that he gained nothing in that small world would be exposed without him having to do anything. Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing were not surprised by Bai Ping's agreement. However, they still smiled. Master Duan, I'll go see the old ancestor now. I'm sure the old ancestor will be willing to use the king-grade celestial weapon of the Tai celestial sect as a wager as well. Chapter 28:18. Before Duan Lingtian, Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing regained their senses, Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect, vanished into thin air. Only his voice was left, echoing in the ears of Duan Lingtian and the other 3. Master Duan, I'll go and see the old ancestor now. I'm sure the old ancestor will be willing to use the Tai celestial sect's king-grade celestial weapon as a stake to support you. Listening to Bai Ping, it was obvious he was going to look for He-Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, who was also the only 8-trigram celestial duke in the Tai celestial sect, to inform him that Duan Lingtian would be participating in the alchemy conference in 2 years and that he wanted to make a bet with someone. After witnessing the Duan Lingtian's insane heating speed, Bai Ping was filled with confidence in the Duan Lingtian. Yu Zhongjing was dumbfounded. I really didn't expect the sect master to have such a crazy side. Situ Ming smiled wryly. He had known the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect for many years, but this was his first time seeing the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect lose his composure. If I can bet a king-grade celestial weapon on top of 3 duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities, I can even bet a duke-grade celestial method or divine ability that has both offensive and defensive attributes. Yang Chong sighed. A triple-trait duke-grade celestial method and divine ability? As soon as Yang Chong finished speaking, Duan Lingtian's eyes lit up again. As mentioned earlier, the value of immortal techniques and divine abilities that were both offensive and defensive, as well as immortal techniques and divine abilities that were both offensive and defensive, were far more valuable than a single immortal technique or divine ability of the same level. In fact, the value of an immortal technique or divine ability that had both offensive and defensive attributes was comparable to 3 or more immortal techniques or divine abilities of the same level. On the other hand, immortal techniques and divine abilities that were both offensive and defensive were more valuable than immortal techniques and divine abilities that were both offensive and defensive, as well as movement techniques and divine abilities that were both offensive and defensive. Even if a person had completely mastered an offensive and defensive immortal art or divine ability, he would still need to master another movement immortal art or divine ability. Even if a person completely comprehended an offensive and speedy celestial method or divine ability, he would still have to comprehend another defensive celestial method or divine ability. However, once he directly comprehended an offensive, defensive, and offensive immortal technique or divine ability, he wouldn't have to comprehend another single immortal technique or divine ability, and he would be able to accomplish it in one go. On the other hand, for the same person with the same talent, it would take less time to comprehend a celestial method or divine ability that had both offensive and defensive attributes than to comprehend multiple celestial methods and divine abilities. It was just like how it was more efficient for a cultivator to comprehend an offensive and defensive immortal art or divine ability than to comprehend two divine abilities at the same time. Among immortal spells and divine abilities of the same level, the most effective ones were the movement techniques or divine abilities that had both offense, speed, and defense. The Supreme Sword Dao mental cultivation method that Senior Feng Qingyang left to me, the Sovereign Heart Sword, is equivalent to an earthly grade celestial method that has both offense, speed, and defense. Duan Lingtian had experienced the Sovereign Heart Sword, an earthly grade celestial method that was similar to an earthly grade celestial method. Naturally, he knew this celestial method was much better than a single celestial method. In fact, it was much better than a single celestial method. Although I'm the last one among the three of us to join the sect, it has been some time since I joined the sect. This is the first time I've seen the sect leader lose his composure. He doesn't look like a sect leader at all. Yang Chong shook his head with a bitter smile on his face. Well, it's understandable. Situ Ming said with a smile. After witnessing and confirming Master Duan's cauldron heating speed, the sect leader must have blind faith in Master Duan. Since he's sure to win, why didn't he make the bet bigger? Just as you said, if the sect has a king-grade celestial weapon, it's possible to win a celestial method or divine ability that has both offense, speed, and defense. Once the sect obtains a celestial method or divine ability that has both offense, speed, and defense, the sect leader will become the first person in the history of the Tai Celestial Sect to obtain a celestial method or divine ability that has both offense, speed, and defense. His name will go down in the history of the Tai Celestial Sect. This is very tempting to the sect leader. Sidu Ming's words clearly explained the sect leader of the Tai Celestial Sect's loss of composure. Master Duan. After Sidu Ming finished speaking, he looked at Duan Lingtian and said solemnly, "The alchemy conference will be held in 2 years. During this time, I don't recommend you to comprehend the sect's movement Duke grade celestial method and offensive divine ability. After all, even if you comprehend the movement Duke grade celestial method and divine ability in 2 years, you won't be able to comprehend much of it. 2 years later, you'll be able to obtain a Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability that's both offensive and defensive. In fact, as long as you're lucky, you might even be able to obtain a Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability that's both offensive and defensive. For this reason, you can focus on alchemy for the next 2 years. You can use the rest of the time to cultivate." Situ Ming earnestly advised Duan Lingtian. "That's how it should be." Yu Zhongjing nodded in agreement with Situ Ming's words. "That's how it should be." Yang Chong nodded at Duan Lingtian as well. "Instead of wasting time on meaningless things, why don't you focus on studying alchemy? If you feel bored, you can calm down and cultivate. Once you've calmed down, you can continue studying alchemy. For the next 2 years, Master Duan, if you have any questions about the Tao of alchemy, you can ask me. I'll definitely tell you everything I know." Situ Ming was the first to express his opinion. "Same here." Yang Chong chimed in as well. Although Yu Zhongjing did not say anything, the way he looked at Duan Lingtian was enough to explain everything. "Thank you, alchemist." Duan Lingtian quickly expressed his gratitude. "Master Duan, you don't have to thank me. After all, if you're able to obtain a Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability that has both offense and defense, as revered elders of the Tai Celestial Sect, will be able to bask in the glory as well." Yang Chong said with a smile. "Perhaps, Master Duan will be able to obtain a Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability that has both offense and defense. Sidu Ming said with a smile. He was very optimistic. Yu Zhongjing's lips curled up into a smile as well. Duan Lingtian's group of 4 waited for approximately half an hour before Bai Ping returned. Moreover, his face was filled with smiles. Sect leader, did the old ancestor agree? Seeing Bai Ping's happy face, Sid Ming already had an idea in his heart, but he still asked with a smile. He agreed. Bai Ping nodded with a smile. Then he looked at Duan Lingtan and said, Master Duan, the old ancestor said he'll accompany you to the alchemy conference in 2 years. Firstly, he wants to see your skills in alchemy. Secondly, he wants to protect you. After all, you've won a valuable Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability. If you're not accompanied by a powerhouse, it's inevitable that some people will try to harm you. Bai Ping said, In that case, please thank the old ancestor on my behalf, sect leader. Duan Lingtian hastily said. Naturally, he knew the old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect did not only want to protect him but also wanted to see his alchemy skills. He was worried the old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect would lose the king-grade celestial weapon along the way. After all, the king-grade celestial weapon was the only king-grade celestial weapon in the Tai Yi celestial sect and the wasteland. It was extremely important to the Tai Yi celestial sect. If the Tai Yi celestial sect lost the king-grade celestial weapon, they would not be as powerful as before. After a few moments, Duan Lingtian and the other 3 left after bidding farewell to Bai Ping. After bidding farewell to Sidu Ming and the others, Duan Lingtian and the others returned to his residence. When Duan Lingtian discovered Huan was not cultivating, he told her everything that had happened. So, Brother Lingtian, you're going to participate in the alchemy conference in 2 years? Huan'er's eyes lit up. She looked at Duan Lingtian eagerly and asked, The alchemy conference will be attended by celestial alchemists from the wasteland and the other realms. It must be very lively, right? Do you want to join in the fun as well? Duan Lingtian could see through Huan'er's thoughts. He shook his head and smiled. Can I? Huan'er asked. If Lingtian was going to the alchemy conference alone, she was not worried Lingtian would not bring her along. However, she heard Lingtian's words. Not only would the 3 prominent celestial alchemists from the Tai Yi celestial sect attend the alchemy conference in 2 years, but even the only 8 trigrams celestial duke in the Tai Yi celestial sect, the old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect, would attend as well. Huan, if you want to go, you can come with me. Duan Lingtian said affectionately as he patted Huan'er's head affectionately. Previously, when Duan Lingtian heard Du Fei's voice transmission in the little world left behind by the celestial king, he could vaguely sense something was amiss. Although Huan was a rare 1,000 Phantoms Ice Fox in the Phantom Fox clan, she was bound to become a thorn in the side of the Phantom Fox clan. Otherwise, Du Fei would not have warned him not to let Huan'er interact with the Phantom Fox clan. Moreover, Du Fei had also warned him. If anyone from the Phantom Fox clan found out about Huan'er's identity as 1,000 Phantoms Ice Fox, as long as they're not from the Du clan, they must kill them. Based on the relationship between Du Fei and Huan'er, it was not difficult for Duan Lingtian to figure it out. The Du clan was one of the most influential forces in the Phantom Fox clan. It seemed like the other clans in the Phantom Fox clan were unwilling to let the Du clan become 1,000 Phantoms Ice Fox. Naturally, this was only Duan Lingtian's speculation. Nevertheless, he could vaguely feel the helplessness Huan'er's mother felt when she left her behind. After all, which mother would abandon their children? For this reason, after leaving the little world, Duan Lingtian had become even more protective of Huan'er wants to go. Chapter 28:19. Although the alchemy conference would be held 2 years later, it would not be held in the wasteland. Even if it was held in the barren land, it would still take 3 months to reach the Tai Yi celestial sect's estate from the wasteland, even with the help of an 8 trigrams celestial duke. Duan Lingtian learned about this a few days after he returned from Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Yi celestial sect. Sidu Ming, the prominent celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect, had told him about this. Just like what Master Situ and Master Yang said, there's no need for me to waste my time on a single Duke-grade celestial method and divine ability in the next 2 years. Since Duan Lingtian agreed with Situ Ming and Yang Chong, he did not waste any time on comprehending the Duke-grade celestial method and divine ability. His thoughts had completely shifted to alchemy. If he had any questions, he would ask Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing. Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing had different areas of expertise in alchemy. This was a good thing for Duan Lingtian as well. It could help Duan Lingtian fill up his shortcomings in various aspects and make his alchemy Dao even more perfect. Half a year later, Master Duan, not only is your prominent celestial fire enviable, but your innate talent in the Dao of alchemy is also enviable. There's nothing else I can teach you for now. Situ Ming smiled wryly at Duan Lingtian. Me too. Yang Chong smiled wryly at the side. A bitter smile also appeared on Yu Zhongjing's face. Although they had seen Duan Lingtian's talent in alchemy before, they felt as though they had seen Duan Lingtian's talent in alchemy in the past 6 months. After all, Duan Lingtian's talent was only the tip of the iceberg. Now that Duan Lingtian had shown his true talent, they felt embarrassed. No matter what, thank you for your help all this while. I, Duan Lingtian, will remember this kindness in my heart. Duan Lingtian said solemnly. Although Situ Ming and the others had said that they were willing to help him because they wanted to comprehend a triple-trait Duke-grade celestial method or divine ability, Duan Lingtian knew that they were willing to help him because they wanted to comprehend triple-trait Duke-grade celestial methods or divine abilities. However, Duan Lingtian knew they were just casual words. Based on their achievements in the Dao of alchemy, if they insisted on pursuing the celestial martial Dao, they could join a sect that was stronger than the Tai celestial sect. They could even join a sect that had both offensive and defensive celestial methods and divine abilities. As long as one stayed in a sect for a period of time and made some contributions, the sect would definitely be willing to teach them Duke-grade immortal methods and divine abilities that were both offensive and defensive, as well as offensive, defensive, and offensive. However, they did Duan Lingtian. This meant they were not interested in Duan Lingtian's celestial methods and divine abilities. Moreover, before Duan Lingtian decided to participate in the alchemy conference and even before he entered the little world left behind by Du Fei, Situ Ming and the other two had already taken good care of him. Duan Lingtian could tell the 3 of them were only doing this because they valued talent. Even if the 3 of them were doing this because they thought he had a bright future ahead of him, Duan Lingtian was still grateful. At the very least, he did not think the 3 of them would benefit from helping him. After Situ Ming and the other 2 left. The reincarnation Emperor Wu is really a genius. During these 6 months, apart from learning from the 3 of them, I've also spent some time comprehending the memories of refining pills left behind by the reincarnation Emperor Wu. Duan Lingtian thought to himself, Duan Lingen, Duan Lingtan, and Duan Ling. After I've comprehended the memories of refining pills, it's as though I've been enlightened. Many of the things that had troubled me in the past have been resolved. Moreover, it's much easier for me to comprehend the things Master Situ and the others have taught me. Feels as though I've completely inherited the reincarnation Emperor Wu's talent in alchemy. Moreover, to a certain extent, it has even reached the level of the student surpassing the master. As Duan Lingtian muttered to himself, his eyes shone even brighter like 2 dazzling stars in the night sky. Duan Lingtian's words were based on the changes he had undergone in the past 6 months. He was not exaggerating at all. In the past, he only had his alchemy skills by relying on the rebirth martial emperor's alchemy memories. However, now that he had comprehended the memories of refining pills left behind by the reincarnation Emperor Wu, he had inherited the reincarnation Emperor Wu's talent in alchemy. In fact, he had even surpassed the reincarnation Emperor Wu's talent in alchemy. Now, the way he viewed everything related to alchemy was completely different from before. This feeling of being in control is really good. Duan Lingtang closed his eyes slightly as an intoxicated expression appeared on his face when he thought about his comprehension of the Tao of alchemy. In the past, when he studied alchemy and refined pills, he felt a little helpless. However, at this moment, his body and mind were one. Perhaps I can finally be considered a true prominent celestial alchemist. Duan Lingtian thought to himself. There's still 1 year and 3 months before I have to leave for the barren land to participate in the alchemy conference. After a while, Duan Lingtian opened his eyes. Although Master Situ and the others can't teach me anything, according to them, there are many books on alchemy in the Tai Celestial Sect's library. Soon after, Duan Lingtian came up with a plan. He would study alchemy on his own to further improve his knowledge. Apart from that, he would cultivate. Now that he was a yellow rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial, the cultivation environment on the Tai Celestial Sect's prominent celestial island was no longer sufficient to provide him with the heaven and earth spirit energy. With the help of the divine crystal and the endless supply of overarching heaven pills, Duan Lingtian's cultivation speed was comparable to when he was a great overarching golden celestial. He was 60% confident he would be able to break through and become a profound rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial before he left for the alchemy conference in the barren land. As Duan Lingtian busied himself, he could not help but feel a little puzzled. It's been so long. Why isn't Brother Pei here yet? 3 months later, Duan Lingtian finally decided to leave the Tai Celestial Sect and head to the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom to look for Long Fei Yun, the 13th Prince of the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom, to ask if Pei Yuanji had returned to the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom. I might as well visit the 13th Prince. It's been a long time since I've seen him. Duan Lingtian was certain Pei Yuanji had not returned to the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom yet. Otherwise, it was unlikely Pei Yuanji would not come looking for him. Nevertheless, he still decided to make a trip. After learning that Duan Lingtian was leaving the Tai Celestial Sect, Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Celestial Sect, called Tai Tai He, the former left guardian of Dharma and the current supreme elder of the Tai Celestial Sect, Tai Tai He, over. Elder Tai, Master Duan is going to the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom. Go with him and make sure he returns safe and sound. Bai Ping instructed Tai Tai He to escort Duan Lingtian back to the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom after Duan Lingtian was done with his business. In the past, no one in the Tai Celestial Sect had ever received such treatment. A 7-star Celestial Duke would personally escort Duan Lingtian back and forth. Duan Lingtian was the first person in the Tai Celestial Sect to receive such treatment. Master Duan, I've wanted to visit you for a long time, but I was worried I'd disturb you so I didn't pay you a visit. After leaving the Tai Celestial Sect's estate, Tai Tai He said to Duan Lingen, Elder Tai, there's no need for you to be so polite with me. After all, you're the one who introduced me to the Tai Celestial Sect. Duan Lingtian shook his head when he heard Tai Tai He's words. Then he asked, Elder Tai, is there anything I can help you with? It's nothing much. I just heard from the sect leader that you'll be participating in the alchemy conference in the barren land in a year's time. Moreover, the old ancestor will be going as well. Tai Tai He's eyes glinted as he continued to say, Moreover, I also heard from the sect leader that you only need half an hour to heat up the prominent celestial pill cauldron. What? You don't believe me? Duan Lingtian asked with a smile. It's not that I don't believe you, but I find it unbelievable. Tai Tai He said with a bitter smile, putting aside the fact that I wasn't there when you first met Master Situ and displayed your pill forging skills. Even the sect leader who was there couldn't verify it. The sect leader must have seen you heat up the cauldron that time, right? But even so, he still suspected that the reason why you were able to heat up the cauldron so quickly was because you were prepared. Tai Tai He said, Prepared beforehand? At this moment, Duan Lingtian recalled something. Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Celestial Sect, was present when he met Situ Ming and the others. He had witnessed the entire process of Duan Lingtian refining the prominent celestial pill, the overarching heaven pill. During that time, he had witnessed Duan Lingtian's heating speed. Duan Lingtian had forgotten about this. However, now that Tai Tai He mentioned it, he finally remembered. Duan Lingtian could not help but feel puzzled. Since sect leader Bai Ping had seen him refine pills and heat up the cauldron, why did it seem like he was unaware of Duan Lingtian's heating speed? After listening to Tai Tai's words, Duan Lingtian finally understood. As it turned out, sect leader Bai Ping thought Duan Lingtian had heated up the cauldron in half an hour because he had cheated. Moreover, that was not his true heating speed. I didn't expect the sect leader to think that way. No wonder Master Situ and the others asked me to demonstrate my heating speed in front of the sect leader. It seems like they've seen through the sect leader's doubts as well. Duan Lingtian shook his head with a wry smile on his face. He had always thought sect leader Bai Ping was a petty person. Chapter 28:20. However, after giving it some thought, Duan Lingtian felt relieved. This was because he remembered Duan Lingtian's words. When he first met Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing had said, "I'm not sure if you can refine a cauldron." Even the most powerful prominent celestial fire that Duan Lingtian knew would take about 5 hours to heat the cauldron. No wonder the sect leader asked me if I'll take more than 6 hours to heat the cauldron. It seems like he has taken Master Yu's words to heart. Moreover, he must have some understanding of prominent celestial alchemists. That's why he wants to confirm the time I'll take to heat the cauldron. Duan Lingtian thought to himself. After a while, Duan Lingtian regained his senses. When he saw Tai Tai's expectant gaze, he could not help but ask, "What? Elder Tai, do you want to witness it as well? Is it convenient?" Upon seeing Duan Lingtian had seen through his thoughts, he felt slightly uncomfortable. "It's not inconvenient at all. It's only half an hour." Duan Lingtian smiled faintly. Then, he raised his hand and took out his prominent celestial pill cauldron. He did not heat the cauldron immediately. Instead, he used an invisible force to guide it to hover in front of Tai. "Master Duan, what are you doing?" Upon seeing this, Tai was stunned. He did not know what Duan Lingtian was trying to do. "Elder Tai, can you confirm if I've heated the cauldron in advance?" Duan Lingtian asked bluntly. He wanted Tai to confirm that he had not cheated. "Master Duan, there's no need for that." He shook his head. "You didn't know I was going to watch you heat the cauldron. Naturally, you didn't prepare it beforehand." "You mean, when I first met Master Situ and the others, I knew I'd have to refine pills in front of them, so I cheated by heating the cauldron in advance." Duan Lingtian looked at Tai meaningfully. "That's not what I meant." He did not know how to respond to Duan Lingtian's gaze. "Elder Iron, you should confirm it." Duan Lingtian said, "That way, you can rest assured." Hearing Duan Lingtian's words, he no longer hesitated. He reached out and grabbed the high-grade immortal artifact pill cauldron suspended in the void in front of him. Apart from using his hand to feel the temperature of the pill cauldron, he also extended his divine sense. Finally, he confirmed that this pill cauldron was ice-cold and had not been warmed up beforehand. "It's done." After confirming, he released the pill cauldron and returned it to Duan Lingtian. "Apothecary Duan, I didn't mean to doubt you when I said those words. I just found it a little unbelievable." After returning the pill cauldron, he glanced at Duan Lingtian with some embarrassment. From his words, it was as if he was afraid that Duan Lingtian would become angry, so he tried his best to explain. "I can understand." Duan Lingtian interrupted Tai. Then he stopped talking and summoned his high-grade celestial fire to heat the cauldron. Half an hour later, he stopped heating the cauldron and began to refine pills. When Duan Lingtian finished refining the prominent celestial pill cauldron, he was certain Duan Lingtian only needed half an hour to heat the pill cauldron. "Apothecary Duan, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to doubt you." He took the initiative to apologize to Duan Lingtian when he saw the truth. Duan Lingtian, who had just put away the pill cauldron, looked at Tai. He deeply before the corners of his lips curled up slightly. "Elder Tai, based on my understanding of you, with your character, you won't say anything even if you doubt me. Can you tell me, why do you want to see me heat the cauldron?" When Duan Lingtian reached the end of his sentence, he looked at Tai with a penetrating gaze. "Apothecary Duan, His expression froze when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. It took him a while before he calmed down. However, he still felt awkward, as though he had something to hide. Guardian Tai, even if you don't say anything, I know the old ancestor asked you to test me. Duan Ling Tian said bluntly. You know? Tai, he looked at Duan Ling Tian in disbelief when he heard Duan Ling Tian's words. He looked at Duan Ling Tian as though he was looking at a monster. He was curious. How did Duan Ling Tian know the old ancestor asked Tai he to test him? It seems like I'm right. When Tai he had an expression of shock and disbelief on his face. A smile appeared on Duan Ling Tian's solemn face as though he had succeeded in his scheme. You tricked me? At this moment, Tai he could tell Duan Ling Tian was tricking him. He was speechless for a moment before a bitter smile appeared on his face. He knew that he had already sold out the one behind him. Master Duan, please don't betray me when you see the old ancestor in the future. Otherwise, the old ancestor won't let me go. Tai he smiled wryly before he hurriedly greeted Duan Ling Tian again. He did not forget to defend the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. Master Duan, I'm sure you can understand the old ancestor's actions. Although the sect leader vouched for you, the old ancestor has no choice but to be cautious when it comes to the sect's king-grade celestial weapon. I understand. Duan Ling Tian nodded. Indeed, he could understand the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect's actions. If he was in the old ancestor's shoes, he would have done the same. Don't mind. Elder Tai, let's continue our journey. All right. Tai he sighed in relief when he heard Duan Ling Tian's words. Then he led Duan Ling Tian away from the Tai celestial sect's estate and made his way to the Soaring Dragon celestial kingdom. Elder Iron. Along the way, Duan Ling Tian seemed to have recalled something. He looked at Tai he and asked, Guardian Tai, will there be celestial alchemists from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect participating in the alchemy conference next year? Speaking of which, I still don't know which province the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect is in, and I wonder if the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect is participating in the alchemy conference. Duan Ling Tian suddenly thought of this question. As far as he knew, the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect was not too far away from the wasteland. Otherwise, how could Zhou Shuqiu from the Thousand Spiders Celestial sect be friends with Murong Bing, a disciple of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect? The Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect is located in the General Region. The General Region participates in every alchemy conference. Apart from the General Region, the Barren Region, and the Wasteland, there's also the Cross Region, the Light Region, and the Shadow Region. Tai he replied to Duan Ling Tian's question. If everything goes as planned, the celestial alchemists from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect will definitely participate in the alchemy conference next year. Tai he looked at Duan Ling Tian and asked, Master Duan, why are you suddenly asking about the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect? Are you related to the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect in some way? Yes, we're related. Duan Ling Tian nodded. I wonder if she'll participate in the alchemy conference. A beautiful figure involuntarily appeared in Duan Ling Tian's mind. It was none other than Murong Bing, a disciple of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect whom he had slept with in a little world left behind by a celestial king from the blissful sect when he had just ascended to the spirit overarching heaven. Tai he was a 7-star celestial duke, so it did not take long for him to bring Duan Ling Tian to the Soaring Dragon celestial kingdom. Due to their speed, they did not encounter any obstacles along the way. Naturally, even if there were obstacles, with Tai he's strength, he could easily destroy them with a wave of his hand. In the imperial palace of the Soaring Dragon celestial kingdom. In the 13th prince's residence. Brother Duan. Master Duan. Long Fei Yun, the 13th prince of the Soaring Dragon celestial kingdom, could not help but feel excited when he saw Duan Ling Tian again. However, due to Duan Ling Tian's current status, Long Fei Yun no longer treated Duan Ling Tian as casually as before. Duan Ling Tian could sense Long Fei Yun's change in attitude. Duan Ling Tian sighed inwardly and did not say anything since he knew it would be pointless. In Long Fei Yun's eyes, he was the high and mighty chief celestial alchemist of the Tai celestial sect. Duan Ling Tian's words were enough to turn the Soaring Dragon celestial kingdom upside down. Long Fei Yun's attitude toward Duan Lingtian was similar to when he was facing the mysterious Brother Pei. 13th Prince, have you seen Brother Pei again? This was the main reason Duan Lingtian had returned this time. Due to this reason, he did not beat around the bush. No. Long Fei Yun shook his head and asked, Master Duan, did you come back to look for Brother Pei? Ever since I met Big Brother Pei with you, I haven't seen him again. The servants I sent to clean his mansion haven't seen him either. It seems that Big Brother Pei has indeed been delayed by something and hasn't returned yet. Although Duan Lingtian was mentally prepared, he could not help but sigh inwardly. 13th Prince, I heard you're now the crown prince of the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom? Duan Lingtian looked at Long Fei Yun with narrowed eyes and said bluntly, if you want to be the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom, I can help you. The Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom was not a high-rank celestial kingdom under the Tai Celestial sect. However, with Duan Lingtian's current status, it was easy for him to make Long Fei Yun, a descendant of the imperial family, the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom, the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom. The martial dragon celestial sect behind the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom would definitely respect Duan Lingtian, the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Celestial sect. There's no need for that. Long Fei Yun shook his head. My father has told me that he'll pass the throne to me in 10 years. That's great. I don't want to inherit the throne so soon anyway. Long Fei Yun smiled. Thank you, Master Duan. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have become the crown prince of the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom. In Long Fei Yun's opinion, Duan Lingtian had changed. His fate had been changed by the person in front of him. Chapter 28-21. After rejecting Long Fei Yun's invitation, Duan Lingtian left the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom and returned to the Tai Celestial sect under Tai Tai's escort. After returning to the Tai Celestial sect, Duan Lingtian continued to immerse himself in alchemy. Naturally, there were times when he encountered a bottleneck in alchemy. Whenever this happened, Duan Lingtian would stop studying the Tao of alchemy and focus on cultivating. He would cultivate the king-grade cultivation method, the Tai Profound method, to advance to the next stage, the Profound rank overarching Heavenly Supreme Celestial. In the following year, nothing major happened in the Tai Celestial sect or the wasteland. Everything was peaceful. Time flew by like a white steed flitting by a crack. In just a blink of an eye, a year had passed. It was also the day Duan Lingtian left the Tai Celestial sect and the wasteland to participate in the alchemy conference in the barren land. In a spacious courtyard, the door of one of the rooms suddenly opened. Following that, two people walked out of the room. They were a young man and a young woman. The young man was handsome with sword-like eyebrows and bright eyes. His otherworldly temperament made him seem like a gentleman. As for the young woman next to the young man, her figure and appearance were flawless. It was as though she was the Creator's most perfect creation. As soon as she walked out of the room, everything outside the room seemed to be overshadowed by her. Brother Lingtian, are we going to look for sect leader by Ping now? After walking out of the room, the lovely lady dressed in white looked at the man beside her and asked with a smile. She was even more beautiful when she smiled. The white-clad woman was none other than Huan, who had been in closed-door cultivation for a long time. As for the man next to her, he was, naturally, Duan Lingtian. Yes. Duan Lingtian nodded slightly. The sect leader and I agreed to meet at his place at noon today. It's about time. Duan Lingtian looked up at the sky when he finished speaking. The scorching sun hung high in the sky. Judging from the position of the scorching sun, it would be noon in about a quarter of an hour. Oh, right. Duan Lingtian suddenly thought of something. He looked at Huan with a burning gaze and asked, Huan, have you made a breakthrough in your cultivation base? Previously, she was an earth-rank overarching Heavenly Supreme Celestial. If he made a breakthrough, he would be a heaven-rank overarching Heavenly Supreme Celestial. Although Duan Lingtian had been cultivating in the same room with Huan for more than a year, Huan was always in closed-door cultivation whenever he entered the room. He had never taken the initiative to wake her up. It was only today that he took the initiative to wake Huan up and prepare to head to the barren land to participate in the alchemy conference. For this reason, he did not know if she had made a breakthrough or not. I broke through 2 months ago. Huan smiled faintly. 2 months ago? Duan Lingtian's eyes lit up as he congratulated Huan. Congratulations. You've become stronger again. Brother Lingtian, you're making fun of me again. You know my current strength is lacking in celestial methods and divine abilities. Although I've become a heaven-rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial, I'm still weaker than most heaven-rank overarching heavenly supreme celestials. Well, could not help but sigh when she reached the end of her sentence. Although there were many high-grade celestial methods and divine abilities in her inherited memories, her comprehension of these celestial methods and divine abilities was not deep enough. Therefore, she could not unleash the full power of these celestial methods and divine abilities. In fact, she was not even comparable to Duan Lingtian in terms of celestial methods and divine abilities. For this reason, although she had become a heaven-rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial, her strength was still weaker than most heaven-rank overarching heavenly supreme celestials due to her lack of celestial methods and divine abilities. In fact, she might not even be a match for some earth-rank overarching heavenly supreme celestials who were outstanding in their celestial methods and divine abilities. I think about how old you are now. Duan Lingtian smiled wryly when he heard Huan's words. Then he comforted her. Moreover, with your innate talent, you'll be able to raise your celestial methods and divine abilities in no time if you focus on comprehending them. You should focus on comprehending celestial methods and divine abilities for the time being. If you encounter a bottleneck, you can continue to cultivate and raise your cultivation base. Duan Lingtian gave Huan a suggestion. All right, I'll listen to you, Brother Lingtian. Huan nodded obediently. The affection in Duan Lingtian's eyes deepened when he saw how obedient she was. It's almost time. Let's go and look for the sect leader. Duan Lingtian looked at the sky again. It was almost noon. He called out to Huan before they made their way to the residence of Bai Ping, the sect leader of the Tai Yi Celestial sect. Since they lived on the same prominent celestial island in the Tai Yi Celestial sect's estate, it did not take long for them to arrive at Bai Ping's residence. After greeting Bai Ping and receiving a response, Zhang Xian entered the manor. When Duan Lingtian and Huan entered the main hall of Bai Ping's residence, the 3 prominent celestial alchemists of the Tai Yi Celestial sect were already there. Master Situ, Master Yang and Master Yu. Since Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing had helped him wholeheartedly, Duan Lingtian treated them as his seniors. After greeting Bai Ping, he quickly greeted the 3 prominent celestial alchemists as well. In fact, he even humbled himself when he greeted the 3 prominent celestial alchemists. After all, he did not lower himself even when he was in front of Bai Ping. Naturally, Bai Ping, who was standing at the side, noticed this as well. However, he did not mind since he knew the reason Duan Lingtian treated the 3 prominent celestial alchemists so respectfully. He knew Duan Lingtian was both a teacher and a friend of the 3 prominent celestial alchemists. Master Duan, Miss Huan Situ Ming and the other 2 prominent celestial alchemists quickly greeted Duan Lingtian. At the same time, they also greeted Huan, who was standing next to Duan Lingtian. We're still missing one person. After greeting the 3 prominent celestial alchemists, Duan Lingtian glanced at the main hall and discovered there was no one else present. It seems like the old ancestor hasn't arrived yet. There were 6 people from the Tai Yi Celestial sect who had come to the wasteland to participate in the alchemy conference. Currently, 5 of them had arrived. Only one person was missing. That person was none other than the only 8-trigram celestial duke in the Tai Yi Celestial sect. He was also the old ancestor of the Tai Yi Celestial sect. 4 prominent celestial alchemists, please wait for a moment. The old ancestor should be here soon. When Bai Ping saw the old ancestor had yet to arrive, he began to console Duan Lingtian and the others. If Duan Lingtian and the others were elders of the Tai Yi Celestial sect, there was no need for him to console them. After all, the elders of the Tai Yi Celestial sect were all juniors of the old ancestor. It was only right for juniors to wait for their elders. However, there was a problem. Duan Lingtian and the others were only revered celestial alchemists of the Tai celestial sect. They were free to leave at any time. Moreover, the Tai celestial sect had no reason to stop them from leaving. If news of the Tai celestial sect stopping them from leaving and forcing them to stay in the Tai celestial sect, no one would dare to accept the Tai celestial sect's invitation in the future. It doesn't matter. Situ Ming shook his head and smiled when he heard Bai Ping's words. Since the old ancestor isn't here yet, the three of us can discuss the Tao of Alchemy with Master Duan. Over the past year, under Master Duan's guidance, our comprehension of the Tao of Alchemy has improved a lot. That's right. Yang Chong nodded. Then he looked at Duan Lingtian and said with a smile, Master Duan, if you haven't improved in the past year, I'm afraid you'll have to learn from us for a while. Although Yu Zhongjing did not say anything, he looked at Duan Lingtian with a smile on his face. His eyes were filled with anticipation. However, after about half an hour, Situ Ming and the others could no longer bring themselves to smile. In just half an hour, Duan Lingtian, Situ Ming, and the other two prominent celestial alchemists discussed the Tao of Alchemy with each other. Every word they said was like a sword that pierced through the hearts of the three prominent celestial alchemists. This half an hour was torture for the three prominent celestial alchemists as well. This was because they were shocked to discover that, in just 1 year, Duan Lingtian's achievement in the Tao of Alchemy had left them far behind. In fact, they did not even have the right to eat his dust. Bai Ping stood at the side. Apart from shock, there was only shock left on his face. In the past, after he confirmed Duan Lingtian's speed in heating cauldrons, he had purposely looked for Situ Ming and the other two prominent celestial alchemists to learn more about Duan Lingtian. He found out that Duan Lingtian was only good at heating cauldrons. He was weak in other aspects and was even inferior to them. More than a year ago, he heard from Situ Ming and the other two prominent celestial alchemists that Duan Lingtian's achievement in other aspects had caught up to them. They did not even have anything to teach Duan Lingtian and were no longer qualified to guide Duan Lingtian. However, today, in just half an hour, he realized how terrifying Duan Lingtian was. His innate talent in the Tao of Alchemy was terrifying. Master Duan, more than a year ago, I had a feeling that you were suddenly enlightened. Your already shocking innate talent in the Tao of Alchemy seemed to have received a heaven-defying boost overnight. Situ Ming looked at Duan Lingtian with a shocked expression on his face. Initially, I thought it was an illusion, but now, I'm certain it's not an illusion. That's right. Yang Chong nodded in agreement. The shock on his face did not disappear as well. Master Duan, your current skill in the Tao of Alchemy is definitely top-notch among the prominent celestial alchemists in the 6 southeastern regions. In the 6 southeastern regions. Based on this, one could see how high Yang Chong's evaluation of Duan Lingtian was. I've spoken to the person who won the first place in the Alchemy Conference. Even the first place in the prominent Celestial Alchemist Conference isn't as good as you, Master Duan. Chapter 28-22. The person who won the Alchemy Conference last time was Sun Chao, the chief celestial alchemist from the Blazing Sun Celestial Sect in the Light Region, right? The moment Zhongjing's voice fell, Bai Ping's pupils couldn't help but shrink fiercely. He had attended the Alchemy Conference 30 years ago. At that time, Sun Chao, the chief celestial alchemist from the Blazing Sun Celestial Sect in the Light Region, had defeated all the prominent celestial alchemists in the 6 southeastern regions and was recognized as the best prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions. Bai Ping was still impressed by Sun Chao's performance. He was aware that Yu Zhongjing had a brief conversation with Sun Chao. However, he did not expect Yu Zhongjing to have such a high opinion of Master Duan from the Tai Celestial Sect. Even Sun Chao was not as good as Master Duan in alchemy. Although the theory of alchemy Dao could only be considered as an armchair strategist, Yu Zhongjing's evaluation of Duan Lingtian still shocked Bai Ping. Yu Zhongjing, Situ Ming, and Yang Chong were unaware of Bai Ping's thoughts. Otherwise, they would have scoffed at Bai Ping's words. An armchair strategist? Others might not know Duan Lingtian, but they knew him very well. As a prominent celestial alchemist, Duan Lingtian possessed a prominent celestial fire that was rarely seen in their lives. What a joke! It only took half an hour to heat a prominent celestial pill cauldron. How could ordinary prominent celestial fires compare to a prominent celestial fire? It was also because of this that they knew, as long as Alchemist Duan's theory was correct, he would be able to use his extraordinary high-grade celestial fire to perfect his theory. Ordinary prominent celestial alchemists would not be able to achieve this. Even the best prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions would not be able to achieve this. Oh right! Situ Ming exclaimed suddenly. He turned to look at Duan Lingtian as though he had just recalled something. Everyone, including Duan Lingtian, shifted their attention to Situ Ming when they saw his reaction. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd. Master Duan, did you encounter some fortuitous encounter in the little world left behind by a celestial king? Is that why you're in a state of sudden enlightenment? Otherwise, I really can't figure out why the alchemy talent you displayed later on would be so much more exaggerated than before. Situ Ming asked bluntly as he stared at Duan Lingtian. As soon as he said that, Yang Chong and Yu Zhongjing's eyes lit up. That's right. How could they have forgotten about this? The alchemy talent that Master Duan displayed seemed to have been displayed after he returned from that small world. Before entering that small world, although this alchemist Duan's talent in alchemy was extremely high, it wasn't exaggerated to the point of being abnormal and heaven-defying. Although Bai Ping didn't think too much about it, he was still curious. Did Duan Lingtian obtain some kind of opportunity or inheritance in that small world? Now that you mention it, Master Situ, I remember now. Upon hearing Situ Ming's words, Duan Lingtian pretended to be enlightened. When I was in that small world, I received a memory that belonged to a prominent celestial alchemist. However, that prominent celestial alchemist's skills are only on par with the 3 of you. He's far inferior to the 3 of you. However, when I looked through his memories, I realized that as his memories merged with mine, I felt enlightened. It was as if many of my previous understandings of the Tao of alchemy had been integrated. After that, my alchemy talent became what it is now. Apart from the fact that the prominent celestial alchemist's memory in the small world was fabricated, Duan Lingtian did not lie about the other things. In fact, Situ Ming found this strange as well. Why had his talent in the Tao of alchemy improved so much after he had thoroughly mastered the alchemy memories that originated from the rebirth martial emperor? Even he was shocked by this, to the extent that he was completely unable to understand what was going on. Could it really be the epiphany that Master Situ mentioned? Duan Lingtian thought to himself. At the same time, he looked at Situ Ming expectantly. Situ Ming frowned when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. Based on what you said, it doesn't sound like an epiphany. However, how's that possible? Even if it's the memory of another prominent celestial alchemist, his alchemy skills are mediocre. Logically speaking, even if you completely assimilate his memory, it'll only improve your alchemy comprehension at most. Moreover, it won't affect your alchemy talent. Situ Ming said. Yang Chong and Yu Zhongjing also nodded, agreeing with Situ Ming. Then, what's going on? Upon hearing Situ Ming's words, Duan Lingtian realized it was not an epiphany. He was even more confused. While Duan Lingtian was puzzled, a cold snort resonated in his body and entered his mind. Duan Lingtian was taken aback when he heard the cold snort. This is... Right at this moment, a voice that was full of energy resonated in Duan Lingtian's body and resonated in his mind. Do you really think your alchemy talent is given to you by the memory of the reincarnation Emperor Wu from the mundane realm? It's just the Chaos Divine Flame using his memory as a medium to improve your alchemy talent. Boy, work hard so that the Chaos Divine Flame and I can improve. Since you've helped us, we won't mistreat you. His voice, which was filled with vigor, became dispirited in the end. This is the voice of the profound divine metal? At this moment, Duan Lingtian finally regained his senses. He looked at the profound divine metal beside his soul. The profound divine metal's light flickered a few times before it dimmed again. The voice did not appear again. No matter how much Duan Lingtian called out to the profound divine metal, The voice did not respond. Can read my thoughts? After a while, Duan Ling Tian realized this. Otherwise, how could the profound divine metal know about the reincarnation Emperor Wu from the mundane realm? I wonder if it's a good thing or a bad thing to have these two monsters in my body. Duan Ling Tian thought to himself. At this moment, Duan Ling Tian could not help but feel a little afraid. They knew what he was thinking. Did this mean he would no longer be able to keep secrets from them? Fortunately, they don't seem to be awake all the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any secrets from them. Duan Ling Tian smiled wryly. At this moment, Duan Ling Tian called out to the chaos divine flame in his heart. However, the chaos divine flame did not respond to him. For this reason, he realized the profound divine metal was different. Whether it was the chaos divine flame or the profound divine metal, they were not always awake. It was just like how the profound divine metal had only exchanged 2 sentences with him, and its voice, which was full of vigor, had become weak again. In any case, based on the current situation, their existence is beneficial to me. When Duan Ling Tian thought about the profound divine metal protecting his soul and the chaos divine flame acting as a prominent celestial fire to help him become a prominent celestial alchemist and improve his talent in alchemy, the lingering fear in his heart dissipated immediately. However, the mystery has been solved now. The reason my alchemy Dao talent improved so much was not because of the rebirth martial emperor's memories or because of enlightenment. It was all because of the chaos divine flame. The chaos divine flame used the reincarnation Emperor Wu's memory as a medium to greatly improve my alchemy talent. At this moment, Duan Ling Tian finally understood why his alchemy talent had improved. However, what's the chaos divine flame? It's only in its 3rd form, but it's already a prominent celestial fire. Moreover, it's stronger than other prominent celestial fires. With this thought in mind, Duan Ling Tian grew even more curious about the chaos divine flame's origin. I'll have to ask the chaos divine flame when it wakes up next time. Also, the profound divine metal is not simple as well. Duan Ling Tian thought to himself. Although the chaos divine flame had woken up once and the profound divine metal had woken up twice, Duan Ling Tian did not manage to communicate with them. They woke up quickly and fell asleep quickly as well. Duan Ling Tian felt slightly helpless. The profound divine metal said that as long as I work hard to help them improve, they won't mistreat me. It was not difficult for Duan Ling Tian to figure this out when he recalled the profound divine metal's words. In other words, they need my help to a certain extent. For alchemists, the old ancestor is here. Duan Ling Tian was still in a daze while Situ Ming and the others were still frowning as they pondered over Duan Ling Tian's sudden increase in his innate talent in alchemy. At this moment, Bai Ping suddenly opened his eyes and greeted Duan Ling Tian and the others. Duan Ling Tian and the others quickly regained their senses and looked outside the hall. Outside the main hall, an aged figure floated into the main hall. The old man was tall and sturdy. He was dressed in a long gray robe. He had white hair and a youthful complexion. At first glance, he looked like a nice old man. However, if one looked closely, one would notice a hint of fierceness in his eyes. He's the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect? When the old man entered, he did not make a sound. Moreover, as his body moved, it was as if he had moved an inch into the sky. In the previous moment, he was outside the hall, and in the next moment, he was standing inside the hall. Greetings, old ancestor. Greetings, old ancestor. After the old man entered the hall, Bai Ping, Sidu Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing hastily bowed and greeted him. Old ancestor. Duan Ling Tian cupped his fists and greeted the old man. Stood next to Duan Ling Tian and studied the old man curiously. She did not greet him at all. Chapter 28-23. Yes. The gray-clad old man, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, nodded at Bai Ping, Sidu Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing who had bowed to him. Then he shifted his gaze to Duan Ling Tian and Huan. What a pair of golden boy and jade girl. The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect's eyes lit up when he saw Duan Ling Tian and Huan. Thank you for the compliment, old ancestor. Duan Ling Tian smiled modestly. Huang, who had maintained a calm expression all this while, blushed when she heard the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect's words. Young lady, you're blushing? The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect took a few more glances at Huan before he teased her. Huan Er's face turned even redder. She glared at the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect and said, Old geezer, I just didn't greet you. Old geezer? Duan Lingtian's expression tensed up when he heard Huan Er's words. After all, the old man was not only the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, but he was also the only 8-trigram celestial duke in the sect. How could Huan Er call him an old geezer? Even Bai Ping, Sidiming, and the others were shocked when they heard Huan Er's words. Old ancestor, please calm down. Bai Ping looked at the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect and said respectfully, Miss Huan Er is innocent. She doesn't mean to insult you, old ancestor. Old ancestor, please calm down. Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing bowed slightly as they looked at the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. Since they had a good relationship with Duan Ling Tian, it was only natural that they did not want anything to happen to Huan. The old ancestor of the First Heaven celestial sect ignored Bai Ping and the others' pleas and laughed heartily. Then he looked at Huan and said, Girl, this is the first time I've ever heard someone call me a damn old man. Aren't you afraid I'll vent my anger on you and attack you because of this? Before she could reply, Duan Lingtian's expression changed drastically. She hastily said, Patriarch, I'm too inexperienced to understand the ways of the world. Please forgive me. The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect ignored Duan Ling Tian. He looked at Huan Er and waited for her to respond. Old man, aren't you the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect? Is there a need to be so petty? When she saw the reactions of her big brother Ling Tian, Bai Ping, and the others, she realized she had offended the old man by calling him an old man. She had always acted casually in front of the old man. However, she had learned from her big brother Ling Tian that the old man was an 8-trigram celestial duke, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, the strongest person in the sect. Petty. The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect was taken aback by her words. Then he laughed and said, Girl, you're interesting. I like you. What do you think? Are you interested in becoming my direct disciple? When Duan Ling Tian and the others saw Hishan's reaction, they heaved a sigh of relief. However, at the same time, they could not help but feel shocked. Not only was Hishan not angry, but he even wanted to take her as his direct disciple? Duan Ling Tian and the others did not expect this. Everyone, except for Duan Ling Tian, thought Huan would agree to Hishan's direct disciple. However, she shook her head and said, You're just an 8-trigram celestial duke. I don't want to be your direct disciple. Little girl, are you looking down on me, an 8-trigram celestial duke? The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect laughed when he heard Huan Er's words. However, he did not force her. After all, it was enough for him to say something once. There was no point in saying anything more. If he said anything more, it would make it seem as if he, an 8-trigram celestial duke, could not accept a disciple. Master Duan. The supreme ancestor of the Tai celestial sect narrowed his eyes as he looked at Duan Ling Tian. I've heard about you from the sect leader. Moreover, the sect leader highly admires your heating speed. This time, the Tai celestial sect will depend on you to obtain better duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. When he reached the end of his sentence, he opened his eyes. His eyes gleamed brightly as he cupped his hands together at Duan Ling Tian. Thank you for your trust, old ancestor. I, Duan Ling Tian, won't disappoint you. Duan Ling Tian replied. Old ancestor. Bai Ping looked at the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect and said with a smile, Old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, I'm sure the alchemy conference will be more fruitful than we expected. Master Duan's knowledge of alchemy is also outstanding. He's not inferior to Sun Chao, who won first place in the previous alchemy conference. At the alchemy conference, there has always been a debate about the Tao. Even though it's just a theory, There are still people who use it as a wager. Bai Ping looked at Duan Lingtian expectantly. It was as though he was waiting for Duan Lingtian to win more and better Duke-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. Upon hearing Bai Ping's words, the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect looked at Duan Lingtian in surprise. A hint of doubt could be seen in his eyes. Naturally, he knew who Sun Chao was. Ever since Sun Chao rose to fame during the alchemy conference, he had been widely acknowledged as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions. Rumor had it that some sects from other regions had even sent people to contact Sun Chao in an attempt to recruit him. Although Bai Ping only said Duan Lingtian's knowledge of alchemy was not inferior to Sun Chao's, he did not say that Duan Lingtian's knowledge of alchemy was on par with Sun Chao's. However, he still found it hard to believe. Old ancestor, the sect leader is telling the truth. Since Yu Zhongjing was standing across from the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect, he could see the doubt in the old ancestor's eyes. He immediately stepped forward to confirm Bai Ping's words. I've discussed alchemy with Sun Chao during the previous alchemy conference. Indeed, he's not as good as Master Duan at that time. Naturally, I don't know how much Sun Chao has improved since then. However, I'm certain Master Duan isn't inferior to him. There was something else Yu Zhongjing did not say. Unless Sun Chao's talent in alchemy was as heaven-defying as Master Duan, it was impossible for his alchemy skills to improve so much in just 30 years. HM? The old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect did not have to believe Bai Ping's words. However, now that Yu Zhongjing had confirmed it as well, the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect began to believe Bai Ping's words. A hint of shock could be seen in his eyes when he looked at Duan Lingtian again. This prominent celestial alchemist who was not even 100 years old was not only lucky enough to obtain a prominent celestial fire, but his knowledge of alchemy was also on par with Sun Chao, the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions. What kind of heaven-defying talent was this? Most importantly, such a person was the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai-yi celestial sect? Master Duan, I'm looking forward to your performance. At this moment, the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect looked at Duan Lingtian with an expectant look in his eyes. I'll do my best, Duan Lingtian replied. With the arrival of the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect, the 6 participants of the alchemy conference in the Barren Land had also arrived. After a while, Duan Lingtian and the others bade farewell to Bai Ping and left the Tai-yi celestial sect with the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect. As an 8 trigrams celestial duke, the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect was extremely fast. Although he was carrying 5 people, his speed was still as fast as lightning. Duan Lingtian, who was being carried by the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect, could not see his surroundings at all. Sometimes it turned into the gray of the desert, sometimes it turned into the yellow of the desert, and sometimes it turned into the green of the grassland. He's too fast. Is this the speed of an 8 trigrams celestial duke? All along the way, Duan Lingtian's heart was filled with shock. Although the old ancestor of the Tai-yi celestial sect was fast, it would still take some time for them to travel across the Barren Land. Do you think the old ancestor is fast? Situ Ming asked with a smile when he saw Duan Lingtian's shock. Yes. Duan Lingtian nodded. Indeed. With this speed, I'm afraid it won't take long for us to arrive at our destination, right? After all, we have to travel across the Barren Land. Moreover, the alchemy conference is held on the other side of the Barren Land. It's not close to the border between the Barren Land and the Wasteland. For this reason, even with the old ancestor speed, it'll take us at least 2 months to arrive at our destination. Situ Ming said. 2 months? Duan Lingtian was shocked. Even with the 8 trigrams celestial duke speed, it would still take him 2 months? If he had to travel alone, it would take him several years. In fact, the wasteland is quite big as well. The 3 major celestial sects, including the Tai-yi celestial sect, are located in the center of the wasteland. However, there's also a desert outside the celestial kingdoms where the heaven and earth spirit energy is scarce. It's much larger than all the celestial kingdoms combined. Situ Ming said to Duan Lingtian. That's right. Yang Chong chimed in. Even with the old ancestor's speed, it'll take him at least 20 days to leave the wasteland from the Tai celestial sect. However, it'll only take him about 5 days to leave the celestial kingdoms and enter the desert where the heaven and earth spirit energy is scarce, Yang Chong said. Duan Lingtian nodded. After listening to Sidu Ming and Yang Chong's words, Duan Lingtian gained a deeper understanding of the wasteland. As it turns out, the wasteland is so big. Apart from the central area where the 3 major celestial sects are located, the rest of the wasteland isn't occupied by the celestial kingdoms. Even the territories occupied by the celestial kingdoms are only a small part of the entire wasteland. Chapter 28-24. After chatting with Sidu Ming and Yang Chong for a while, Duan Lingtian also found out that Sidu Ming and Yang Chong were in the same boat. It was not only the wasteland that was like this. Even the other 5 of the 6 southeastern regions, and even other places, were similar to the wasteland. After all, the Devata realms were vast. Although there were many celestial stone and celestial crystal veins in the Devata realms, they paled in comparison to the Devata realms. For this reason, only a small part of the Devata realms was rich in heaven and earth spirit energy. In the Devata realms, the difference between a place with the richest heaven and earth spirit energy and a place with the thinnest heaven and earth spirit energy was like heaven and earth. At the same time, Duan Lingtian also learned a lot of things that he didn't know before. The 6 southeastern regions are divided into the Wasteland region, Barren region, General region, Cross region, Light region, and Shadow region. The reason for this name is because there were 3 famous titled celestial lords in the history of the 6 southeastern regions. The 3 titled celestial lords are the Desolate Celestial Lord, the Common Crossing Celestial Lord, and the Light Shadow Celestial Lord. The names of the 6 regions of the 6 southeastern regions came from their titles. Sidu Ming said to Duan Lingtian, Desolation Immortal Emperor, Desolation, Desolation Region, Barren Region. Universal Crossing Immortal Emperor, Universal Crossing, Universal Region, Crossing Region. Light Shadow Immortal Emperor, Light Shadow, Light Region, Shadow Region. At this moment, Duan Lingtian finally found out that the 6 regions of the 6 southeastern regions were named after the titles of celestial lords. A titled celestial lord? What is that? Is it any different from an ordinary immortal emperor? This was the first time Duan Lingtian had heard of a titled celestial lord. In the past, he only knew that immortal lords were existences that surpassed immortal kings. Moreover, the division of cultivation realms was similar to immortal kings and immortal monarchs, and it was divided into 10 realms from the first origin to the 10th. This was the first time he had heard of a titled celestial lord. In the Devata realms, the best celestial lords have their own titles. The title of the Wasteland Celestial Lord is Desolate. The title of the Kittagarbha Celestial Lord is Kittagarbha Celestial Lord is Kittagarbha Celestial Lord is Kittagarbha Celestial Lord, and the title of the Light Shadow Celestial Lord is Light Shadow. Facing Duan Lingtian's question, Yang Chong promptly explained. A titled Celestial Lord is much stronger than an ordinary Celestial Lord. To become a titled Celestial Lord, a Celestial Lord has to join the Title Temple, one of the most sacred and mysterious forces in the Devata realms, along with 9 other Celestial Lords who want to become a titled Celestial Lord. Out of the 10 Celestial Emperors who want a title, only the last surviving Celestial Emperor will be granted a title. Then, the name of the Celestial Lord will be recorded in the record of titled Celestial Lords and announced to the entire Devata realms. It's impossible for an ordinary Celestial Lord to stand out among the 10 Celestial Lords who want to be conferred a title. For this reason, the Celestial Lords who are conferred titles by the Title Temple are all outstanding Celestial Lords. Not only that, but they're also monstrous figures. Yang Chong explained in one breath. It's so cruel. 9 out of 10 Celestial Lords who want a title will die, and only the one who survives will become a titled Celestial Lord? Duan Lingtian's eyes widened in shock. This was a result that he had never expected. Previously, he had thought the title of a titled Celestial Lord was a special cultivation base of a Celestial Lord that he had yet to learn about. He did not expect this to be the case. Currently, the 6 southeastern regions doesn't even have a single celestial king. However, not only are there celestial lords, but there are also 3 titled celestial lords? Duan Lingtian could not help but gasp. A year ago, when he was on his way back to the Tai celestial sect from the Soaring Dragon Celestial Kingdom, Tai He, the supreme elder of the Tai celestial sect, had told him that there were no celestial kings in the 6 southeastern regions. He did not expect there would be a titled celestial lord in the 6 southeastern regions who did not even have a celestial king. Although there are no celestial kings in the 6 southeastern regions, it's only because there are no celestial kings in the 6 southeastern regions. It's possible that those who had broken through and become celestial kings have left the 6 southeastern regions for a bigger stage. Duan Lingtian felt relieved when he thought about this. Although the environment in the 6 southeastern regions was good, it was difficult for a celestial king to improve. Just the heaven and earth spirit energy in the 6 southeastern regions was enough to restrict celestial kings. For immortal kings, they needed a better cultivation environment before they could reach the next level. Alchemist Yang, what kind of power is the tidal temple? Did you say it's the holiest and most mysterious force in the Devata realms? Duan Lingtian asked as he looked at Yang Chong. After learning about the origin of titled celestial lords, Duan Lingtian was curious about the tidal temple that granted titles to celestial lords. He had never heard of such a force before. Yes. Yang Chong nodded in response to Duan Lingtian's question. The tidal temple is indeed the holiest and most mysterious force in the Devata realms. Moreover, it's a force that never participates in any disputes. However, it's also the most terrifying force in the Devata realms. In the history of the Devata realms, there were some forces that stood at the peak of the Devata realms who wanted to challenge the tidal temple. However, in the end, all of them were annihilated without exception and disappeared from the history of the Devata realms. A hint of respect could be seen in Yang Chong's eyes when he spoke about the tidal temple. The tidal temple is located in 81 Devata realms. Every Devata realm has a tidal temple branch. To become a titled celestial lord or a titled celestial emperor, one has to go to the tidal temple and pass the life or death test to obtain the tidal temple's approval, Yang Chong said. Duan Lingtian narrowed his eyes. A titled celestial emperor? Duan Lingtian's eyes widened slightly. To become a titled celestial emperor, don't tell me one has to climb out of a pile of dead celestial emperors as well? More or less. Yang Chong said, the process to become a titled celestial emperor is similar to that of a titled celestial lord. However, unlike a titled celestial lord who has to stand out from 10 celestial lords, a titled celestial emperor only has to stand out from 5 celestial emperors. If every titled celestial emperor is born by stepping on the corpses of 9 celestial lords who want to be titled, in other words, every titled celestial emperor is born by stepping on the corpses of 4 celestial emperors who want to be titled. Towards the end, Yang Chong's tone became somewhat impassioned, and one could hear that his current mood was somewhat fluctuating. For this reason, unless celestial lords and celestial emperors are extremely confident in their strength and desire to be conferred a title, they won't participate in the tidal temple's contest for a title. Yang Chong continued to say, in the 81 Devata realms, all 81 heavenly emperors are titled celestial emperors. Duan Lingtian nodded. All 81 heavenly emperors in the Devata realms were titled celestial emperors. Duan Lingtian was not surprised by Yang Chong's words. If one could not even obtain the title of a celestial emperor, how could one become a heavenly emperor in a Devata realm? The tidal temple. Even the forces led by the heavenly emperors of Devata realms can't contend with it? Duan Lingtian asked curiously when Yang Chong mentioned the heavenly emperors of Devata realms. As far as he knew, the heavenly emperor of a Devata realm was the overlord of that Devata realm. Would he be able to do anything to the tidal temple if he wanted to? In the history of the 81 Devata realms, there were at least 10 heavenly emperors who wanted to lay their hands on the tidal temple. However, all of them died in the end. Yang Chong said, hiss. Hearing Yang Chong's words, Duan Lingtian couldn't help but gasp. Was the tidal temple really that terrifying? Could the tidal temple be related to the world of divine offering? At this moment, Duan Ling Tian could not help but think about the divine offering land that was above the Devata realms. It was also the place where his wife and his family and friends lived. He had come into contact with a few people from the world of divine remains. Without exception, they were all extremely powerful existences. Among them, Yun Qing Yan's lackey was able to force the heavenly emperor of solitary destructive heaven into the Azura Hell, one of the 7 deadliest places in the Devata realms. As for Xia Jie, he was even more unfathomable. After all, Yun Qing Yan's lackey did not even dare to fart in front of Xia Jie. Yang Chong said, "In the memories of the people in the Devata realms, the tidal temple has existed since the Devata realms. The tidal temple is the oldest force in the Devata realms. There are many powerhouses in the tidal temple. It's said that the tidal temple is even stronger than a 10 Directions celestial emperor. Naturally, those are only rumors. Nobody knows if it's true or not," Yang Chong said. However, there's one thing that's certain is that the tidal temple is a colossus in the Devata realms. Fortunately, the tidal temple has no intention of interfering in the affairs of the Devata realms. Otherwise, with its strength, it would be able to toy with all the forces in the Devata realms. Yang Chong said. The tidal temple. Duan Ling Tian's eyes flashed with curiosity. He wanted to know what kind of force the tidal temple was. If he could control it, would that mean 8,000 years later he could easily invade the world of divine offering, kill Yun Qing Yan, and bring Kerr and his family and friends away from the world of divine offering? This was the crazy thought that suddenly arose in Duan Ling Tian's mind. However, he suppressed this thought as soon as it appeared in his mind. I can't help but wonder. If the tidal temple is under someone else's control, do you really think I'll be able to obtain it? Chapter 28-25. Let alone the tidal temple, even celestial emperors and celestial lords are too far away from me. Currently, I'm only a profound rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial. Duan Lingtian had successfully broken through and become a profound rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial before he left this time. However, he knew it was because his cultivation base was close to becoming a profound rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial after he had broken through and become a yellow rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial. With the help of Huan'er's divine crystal, the king grade cultivation method, the Tai profound technique, his 99 heavenly veins, and overarching heaven pills, he would be able to break through. If he could not break through, he would really be a good for nothing. Naturally, the reason I was able to break through in such a short time is because my cultivation base was close to becoming a profound rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial when I left the little world. This is also the most important point. Otherwise, even with the help of Huan'er's divine crystal, the king grade Tai profound technique, the 99 heavenly veins, and the overarching heaven pills, I wouldn't have been able to break through from a yellow rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial to a profound rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial in just over a year. Duan Lingtian was well aware of this. If it were not for Huan'er's grandaunt who had helped him break through and become a yellow rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial, he would not have been able to break through and become a profound rank overarching heavenly supreme celestial. Master Yang. Duan Lingtian looked at Yang Chong. His eyes flashed as he changed the topic. If I'm not mistaken, there should be differences in strength between the 6 southeastern regions, right? For example, the compassionate celestial traveler sect in the general region seems to be stronger than any of the 3 major celestial sects of the wasteland. Yang Chong nodded. Indeed, there are differences in strength between the 6 southeastern regions. The wasteland is at the bottom of the 6 southeastern regions. Apart from that, the barren land is also at the bottom of the wasteland. There are also 3 major celestial sects in the barren land. Their strength is on par with ours. Among the 6 southeastern regions, the strongest are the general region and the cross region, followed by the light region and the shadow region. As for our wasteland and the barren region, they're the weakest. Yang Chong said. General region, cross region, Duan Lingtian's eyes glinted as he asked again, Alchemist Yang, which realm is the blissful sect from? The blissful sect is from the Cross region. Yang Chong replied. Then, as though he had just recalled something, he continued to say, the blissful sect and the compassionate celestial traveler sect have been enemies for a long time. They've been fighting for a long time, and the tension between the two sects has only eased in recent years. However, even now, they're still at loggerheads whenever they meet. Duan Lingtian nodded. Previously, when he met Murong Bing, he knew the blissful sect and the compassionate celestial traveler sect were not on good terms. Otherwise, the world-cleansing Horsetail Whisk, one of the compassionate celestial traveler sect's sect guarding celestial weapons, would not have fallen into the hands of a celestial king from the blissful sect and be hidden in the little world. However, if Murong Bing did not go looking for the world-cleansing Horsetail Whisk, they would not have fallen in love with each other. If he had a second chance, he would never go to the little world again. It was not that he looked down on Murong Bing, but he was not in the mood to flirt at all. All his thoughts were on his wife, his family, and his friends. He was eager to rescue them from the divine offering land as soon as possible. Naturally, this was only an if since there was no second chance. However, since things had already come to an end, he would not be an irresponsible man. At this moment, he had already decided Murong Bing was his woman. Just like what he had said before Murong Bing left, he had said, the woman that I, Duan Lingen, have slept with can only belong to me, Duan Lingen. Although his words were overbearing, they reflected Duan Lingtian's thoughts. The woman that he, Duan Lingtian, had slept with could only belong to him, Duan Lingen. The blissful sect and the compassionate celestial traveler sect are on par in strength, but it's not the strongest sect in the Cross region. There's another sect in the Cross region that's stronger than the blissful sect. In fact, the blissful sect and the other two sects in the Cross region are a match for the blissful sect. There are a total of 4 strongest sects in the Cross region. In the general region, there are 5 strongest sections. The compassionate celestial traveler sect and the blissful sect are the 2 strongest sects in the general region. All in all, the blissful sect and the compassionate celestial traveler sect can only be considered second-tier sects in the general region and the Cross region. Yang Chong continued to introduce the blissful sect and the compassionate celestial traveler sect to Duan Lingtian. He also explained the situation of the sects in the general region and the Cross region. In the general region and the Cross region, there's only one sect that's considered first tier. It's the sect that's stronger than the blissful sect and the blissful sect in the Cross region. Yang Chong said, "What's the sect called?" Duan Lingtian's eyes flashed as he asked curiously. Mystic. Heaven. Celestial. Sect. The profound heaven celestial sect is also the most powerful sect in the 6 southeastern regions. It's the number 1 sect in the 6 southeastern regions. The profound heaven celestial sect, the number 1 sect in the 6 southeastern regions. Duan Lingtian's eyes flashed as he asked, since the profound heaven celestial sect is capable of suppressing the blissful sect, the compassionate celestial traveler sect, and the other sects, there should be more than one 10 directions celestial duke in the sect, right? As far as he knew, there was only one 10 directions celestial duke in the compassionate celestial traveler sect. Since the blissful sect's strength was on par with the compassionate celestial traveler sect, it should be the same. As the strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions, the profound heaven celestial sect should have more than one 10 directions celestial duke. Of course, Yang Chong nodded. There are 3 10 directions celestial dukes in the profound heaven celestial sect. Most importantly, 2 of the 10 directions celestial dukes are twins. They're said to be invincible among those below celestial kings in the southern heaven territory. Invincible under the immortal king realm in the southern heaven territory? Where is the southern heaven territory? Duan Lingtian was taken aback. This was his first time hearing about the southern heaven territory. I don't know much about the southern heaven territory, Yang Chong said. However, the 6 southeastern regions are located in the southern heaven territory. Master Situ, please explain to Master Duan. Among the 3 of us, you've lived the longest, and you're the most knowledgeable. Then, he turned to look at Situ Ming. What do you mean by you've lived the longest? Master Yang, I don't like what you're saying. Situ Ming glared at Yang Chong before he looked at Duan Ling Tian and continued Yang Chong's words. Master Duan, the 6 southeastern regions, the 9 southern regions, the 5 southwestern regions, and the 7 western regions are all located at the edge of the Southern Heaven Territory. They're considered the most remote places in the Southern Heaven Territory. The Southern Heaven Territory is ruled by a titled Celestial Lord. Southern Heaven is the title of the Celestial Lord. The Celestial Lord is known as the Southern Heaven Celestial Lord. He's also the ruler of the Southern Heaven Territory. The central area of the Southern Heaven Territory is so vast that it surpasses the total area of all the borderlands in the 6 southeastern regions. There are as many powerhouses as there are clouds in the central area of the Southern Heaven Territory. Moreover, there's a formation that separates the central area from the borderlands. Due to the formation, celestial kings born in the borderlands, including the 6 southeastern regions, will be affected by the formation if they don't enter the central area of the Southern Heaven Territory after they've broken through and become celestial kings. In fact, as time passes, they might even regress to the level of a celestial duke. It's extremely difficult for them to break through again. As for the celestial kings born in the borderlands, once they enter the center of the Southern Heaven Territory through the formation, it'll be very difficult for them to return because the formation separates the two sides. Rumor has it that the formation was personally set up by a titled Celestial Lord. Even ordinary Celestial Lords won't be able to break through it. This is also the reason why there are almost no celestial kings in the borderlands, including the 6 southeastern regions. It's not that there aren't any celestial kings here, but even if there are celestial kings, they won't stay here for long. They'll leave the borderlands and head to the central area of the Southern Heaven Territory. Situ Ming explained the mysteries of the Southern Heaven Territory to Duan Ling Tian. He also told Duan Ling Tian that the Southern Heaven Territory was divided into the borderlands and the central area. The 6 southeastern regions he was currently in was one of the borderlands. Once celestial kings leave the borderlands and enter the central area, they won't be able to return due to the formation that separates the borderlands and the central area. Even if they want to return, they'll have to break through and become a celestial lord first. Duan Ling Tian nodded. All right. Duan Ling Tian nodded. Duan Ling Tian did not ask anything else for the time being since it would take him some time to digest all the information. As it turned out, apart from being one of the 6 southeastern regions, the wasteland he was currently in was located in the Southern Heaven Territory. The Southern Heaven Territory was ruled by a titled Celestial Lord. As for titled Celestial Lords, Duan Ling Tian had learned from Yang Chong that they were powerful beings who had climbed out of a pile of corpses of outstanding Celestial Lords. The borderlands and the central area. Apart from that, the Southern Heaven Territory was also divided into the borderlands and the central area. Chapter 28-26. Master Situ, since only celestial lords and above can leave the central area and enter the borderlands, there shouldn't be anyone below the celestial king realm who can enter the borderlands from the central area, right? If that's the case, does it mean that the twin 10 directions celestial dukes from the profound heaven celestial sect are unrivaled in the Southern Heaven Territory? Duan Ling Tian could not help but ask Situ Ming this question after digesting what he had learned. Currently, Duan Ling Tian had a rough idea of the Southern Heaven Territory. The central area was vast and spacious. The central area was surrounded by a formation that was personally set up by a titled Celestial Lord. Not only was it forbidden for celestial kings to stay in the borderlands for a long time, but it was also forbidden for people from the central area to enter the borderlands and disrupt the peace there. Under such circumstances, it was impossible for anyone below the level of a celestial king from the central area to come to the borderlands to have any interaction with the twin 10 directions celestial dukes from the profound heaven celestial sect. Indeed, they don't live up to their name. This is why many people think they're shameless. Situ Ming nodded. After all, there are so many 10 directions celestial dukes in the central area. Many of them have mastered king-grade celestial methods and divine abilities. Any one of those 10 directions celestial dukes would be able to easily defeat the two of them. They knew 10 directions celestial dukes from the central area wouldn't be able to come to the borderlands. That's why they dared to boast that they're invincible to those below the celestial king realm in the southern heaven territory. In fact, they're only invincible to those below the celestial king realm in the borderlands. Sidaming said. Duan Ling Tian nodded. However, the twin brothers are quite strong. They've even defeated a 10 directions celestial duke from the blissful sect and a 10 directions celestial duke from another sect. Sidu Ming continued to say. Duan Ling Tian nodded in agreement. After a while, Duan Ling Tian seemed to have recalled something. Master Situ, since the 6 southeastern regions are located at the borderlands of the Southern Heaven Territory, we'll be able to enter the central area of the Southern Heaven Territory through the formation there. Then if we head out from the 6 southeastern regions, where will we end up? According to Duan Lingtian's knowledge, the spirit formation that enveloped the central area was also the boundary between the central area and the borderlands. The borderlands were like stars surrounding the moon, surrounding the central area. If you walked further in from the border, you would reach the central area. If they were to head out, where would they end up? This was also what he was curious about. Go out, it's the chaotic astral ocean. The person who answered Duan Lingtian was none other than He Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect. When He Shan mentioned the chaotic astral ocean, his tone became more solemn. Chaotic astral ocean? Duan Lingtian was stunned. The chaotic astral ocean is a sea that traverses the Devata realms. It exists between the territories of the Devata realms. There are many celestial beasts without intelligence in the sea. Not only are they powerful, but their numbers are as numerous as the stars in the sky. For this reason, the people in the Devata realms call it the chaotic astral ocean. Rumor has it that one needs to be a celestial lord to cross the chaotic astral ocean with one's physical body. Those below the level of celestial lords would definitely die if they tried to cross the chaotic astral ocean with their physical body. Even for existences above the immortal emperor level, ordinary immortal emperors, crossing the chaotic astral ocean will still face certain dangers. In the history of the Devata realms, only titled celestial lords and celestial emperors were able to survive the chaotic astral ocean. He Shan continued to explain. As he spoke, he patiently introduced the chaotic astral ocean to Duan Lingtian. Upon hearing this, Duan Lingtian could not help but gasp. The chaotic astral ocean was so terrifying? Apart from that, the chaotic astral ocean isn't the only place that leads to the chaotic astral ocean in the 6 southeastern regions. Even the borderlands of the Southern Heaven Territory are connected to the chaotic astral ocean. The old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect continued to say, therefore, those who live in the borderlands of the Southern Heaven Territory only have one choice, which is to head to the center of the Southern Heaven Territory. As you know, if one doesn't leave the borderlands and head to the central area as soon as possible after breaking through and becoming a celestial king, the formation that separates the borderlands and the central area will cause one's cultivation base to regress. Once one's cultivation base is reduced to that of a celestial duke, it's extremely difficult for one to break through and become a celestial king again. For this reason, no matter which sect in the borderlands has a breakthrough and become a celestial king, they'll choose to leave the borderlands and head to the central area immediately. Duan Lingtian nodded in realization. However, Duan Lingnan suddenly thought of something. He looked at the old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect and asked, Old ancestor, if there's a celestial king in the Tai Yi celestial sect, does this mean the celestial king will be able to annihilate the martial dragon celestial sect and the thousand spiders celestial sect before leaving the borderlands and heading to the central area? Impossible. The old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect refuted Duan Lingtian's words as soon as he finished speaking. There's a rule in the Southern Heaven Territory. Once a 10 directions celestial duke in the borderlands becomes a celestial king, he's not allowed to participate in the disputes between forces in the borderlands. Otherwise, he'll be executed by the special envoy from the central area. The formation that separates the central area and the borderlands not only prevents celestial kings from improving their cultivation base in the borderlands, but it's also used to monitor celestial kings. For this reason, celestial kings born in the borderlands usually don't dare to participate in the disputes between forces in the borderlands. The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect said. Gasp. Upon hearing the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect's words, Duan Lingtian could not help but gasp. He was clearly shocked by the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. He did not expect the formation set up by a titled celestial lord to be so terrifying. Not only did it prevent celestial kings in the borderlands from entering the central area, but it was also used to monitor if celestial kings in the borderlands were involved in disputes between forces. Naturally, Duan Lingtian was unaware that the formation of the Tai celestial sect in the central area of the Southern Heaven territory. In fact, the formation that separated the central area and the borderlands of the Southern Heaven territory was not set up by a titled celestial lord. It had been set up a long time ago. It was just that the titled celestial lord had to personally maintain it from time to time. The formation had existed since the Devata realms existed, and it had been passed down for countless years. At that time, the Southern Heaven territory was not known as the Southern Heaven territory. During the journey to the Barren Land and the Alchemy Conference, Duan Lingtian learned a lot from Hishan, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, Situ Ming, and the others since they were on their way to the Alchemy Conference. After a while, Duan Lingtian decided not to ask any questions. Instead, he focused on studying alchemy and cultivating. Since his alchemy skills were not on the same level as Duan Lingtian, it was meaningless for him to talk to Situ Ming and the others. Although Situ Ming and the others wanted to discuss alchemy with Duan Lingtian to improve their alchemy skills, Situ Ming and the others were reluctant to discuss alchemy with Duan Lingtian. However, when they thought about how Duan Lingtian was going to participate in the Alchemy Conference, they knew they could not afford to waste too much time. Therefore, they kept their mouths shut. As for Huan after leaving the Tai celestial sect, Huan had been meditating on the celestial methods and divine abilities in her inherited memories. From time to time, her body would emit a cold and sharp aura. Time flew by. In just a blink of an eye, 2 months had passed. At this time, not only had Duan Lingtian and the others entered the Barren Land, but they had also arrived at the venue of the Alchemy Conference. Although the Alchemy Conference was jointly held by the 6 southeastern regions, it was actually held separately. Each time, one of the regions would hold the Alchemy Conference while the other 5 regions would participate. This time, it was the Barren Land's turn to hold the Alchemy Conference. To be more precise, the Alchemy Conference was held by the 3 major celestial sects of the Barren Land. The Barren Land was similar to the Wasteland. The 3 major celestial sects of the Barren Land were located in the center of the Barren Land. Each of the 3 major celestial sects of the Barren Land had a large and prosperous city. However, the Alchemy Conference was not held in any of the 3 cities. Instead, it was held in a city located on a plain in the center of the Barren Land. Although the city was not as big as the city under the 3 major celestial sects of the Barren Land, it was not far behind. Therefore, on the whole, this city was still very big. This city is called Alchemy City. It's used to hold the Alchemy Conference. Not only does it exist in the Barren Land, but it also exists in the Wasteland and the other 4 regions. Usually, the city is shrouded by formations and restrictions, so it's not open to the public. After Duan Lingtian and the others arrived at the city, Situ Ming took the initiative to introduce the city to Duan Lingtian. Among them, only Duan Lingtian and Huan had not participated in the Alchemy Conference. In Alchemy City, other than the residences arranged for the various large sects of the 6 southeastern regions, there are also medicinal pill and medicinal herb shops specially arranged for us. In addition, there are also residences, medicinal pill and medicinal herb stalls specially arranged for the independent cultivators of the 6 southeastern regions and some small sections. From 1 month before the Grand Alchemy meeting to 2 months after, Alchemy City will be open to the public. During this process, not only will you be able to personally witness the grand event known as the Grand Alchemy Meeting, you will also be able to purchase medicinal ingredients and medicinal pills during this period of time. There is no lack of precious medicinal ingredients and rare high-grade medicinal pills. For this reason, many people would gather in Alchemy City every time the Alchemy Conference is held. Some of them are here to participate in the Alchemy Conference while others are here to watch the show. When Situ Ming introduced the city to Duan Lingtian saw that there were many people gathered in the city. In the surroundings of Alchemy City ahead, there was currently a large group of people coming from all directions, entering Alchemy City one by one. Chapter 28-27. As one of the three major celestial sects of the Wasteland, the Tai Celestial Sect had a mansion in Alchemy City in the Barren Land. They also had a shop in the downtown area of Alchemy City where they could sell medicinal herbs and pills. Whether it was the mansion or the shop, they were provided free of charge by Alchemy City in the Barren Land. Only the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions had such treatment. The small sects and clans in the 6 southeastern regions were sectless cultivators from the various celestial kingdoms in the 6 southeastern regions. Although Alchemy City provided accommodations for them, they had to pay celestial stones and celestial crystals. The better the accommodations, the more celestial stones and celestial crystals they had to pay. Naturally, even the best accommodations they had were not as good as the accommodations provided to the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions. Moreover, the stalls provided by Alchemy City to the small sects, clans, and people from the various celestial kingdoms in the 6 southeastern regions had to be rented as well. The better the location, the higher the rent. For example, the rent for stalls near the downtown area was so high that ordinary people could not afford it. Even if they could afford it, they might not be able to earn it back. For this reason, those who rented stalls near the downtown area were sects, clans, and sectless cultivators who had brought outstanding mediocre celestial alchemists with them. Occasionally, one could see prominent celestial alchemists and sectless cultivators. Naturally, prominent celestial alchemists and sectless cultivators were rare in Alchemy City. After all, as a prominent celestial alchemist, he could join any of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions as long as he was willing to. Moreover, the sects would not restrict his freedom so he could come and go as he pleased. Of course, he still needed to refine some pills for the sect during his time as a consecrator. However, the medicinal ingredients needed to refine the pills were provided by the sect. Moreover, the sect would usually provide generous rewards and would not treat them unfairly. Under such circumstances, apart from some eccentric and unsociable prominent celestial alchemists who were willing to be sectless cultivators, most prominent celestial alchemists would choose to join one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions to be a revered celestial alchemist. In this way, not only would they be able to obtain better resources, but they would also be able to settle down. Brother Ling Tian, there are so many people here. As soon as Duan Ling Tian entered Alchemy City, he heard Huan Er's pleasant voice before he even had the chance to take a good look at the city. At this moment, Duan Ling Tian looked ahead and saw the scene in the city. When he was outside Alchemy City, he had seen many people entering the city. However, after he entered the city, he had a different feeling. The world outside the city was vast and boundless. No matter how many people there were, if they were to spread out, they wouldn't be able to see anything at all. Inside the city, streams of people gathered together like a dragon, flowing in an endless stream. It was a visually stunning sight. Although it was not the downtown area of the cities were not far away, were Huan S of the city. At this moment, Huan was holding Duan Lingtian's hand as she walked side by side with Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing. He Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai Celestial Sect, was leading them to the Tai Celestial Sect's residence in Alchemy City of the Barren Land. Since it was not the old ancestor's first time in the Barren Land, he was familiar with the place. Of course, even Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing were very familiar with the place. It was because they had been here more than once. The 3 major celestial sects of the Barren Land did not send anyone to welcome the people from the top sects of the 6 southeastern regions since the residences of the top sects in Alchemy City of the Barren Land were fixed. The people from the top sects were free to go to the residences of their respective sections. Even though the top sects of the 6 southeastern regions had only set up some soundproof formations and spirit-gathering formations in their residences in Alchemy City of the Barren Land, and did not set up any defensive formations, no one dared to enter their residences. After all, the top sects of the 6 southeastern regions represented the strongest forces in the 6 southeastern regions. Ordinary people would not dare to provoke them, unless they had a death wish. Duan Lingtian had learned about this from Situ Ming. There are so many mediocre celestial alchemists. Along the way, Duan Lingtian saw many people dressed in black robes. Their black robes were embroidered with balls of flames. Moreover, the flames formed the word Qian. Since the word Qian was formed by flames, it looked as though the word Qian was burning. It was dazzling. This was the Celestial Master's robe in the Devata realms. The Celestial Master's robe was the uniform of the Alliance of Celestial Masters in the Devata realms. Only celestial alchemists and celestial weapon craftsmen could obtain the Celestial Master's robe at the Alliance of Celestial Masters stronghold. Very few people dared to imitate the Celestial Master's robe since they would be hunted down by the Alliance of Celestial Masters if they were discovered wearing a fake Celestial Master's robe. For this reason, very few people dared to imitate or wear a fake Celestial Master's robe. The Immortal Master's robe was divided into 4 levels. They were the Heaven Celestial Master robe, Earth Celestial Master robe, Heaven Celestial Master robe, and Earth Celestial Master robe. Among them, only Supreme Celestial Alchemists and Supreme Celestial Weapon Craftsmen were eligible to receive the Heaven robe. Only prominent Celestial Alchemists and prominent Celestial Weapon Craftsmen were eligible to receive the Earth robe, and only mediocre Celestial Alchemists and mediocre Celestial Weapon Craftsmen were eligible to receive the Heaven robe. As for the Earth Celestial Master's robe, it was only available to primitive Celestial Alchemists and primitive Celestial Alchemists after they proved their identities in the Alliance of Celestial Masters strongholds. At this moment, Duan Lingtian saw a group of people wearing Celestial Masters robes with the word Kun on them. They were none other than mediocre Celestial Alchemists. Since this was Alchemy City, and the Alchemy Conference was held jointly by the 6 southeastern regions, 99% of the people wearing Celestial Masters robes were Celestial Alchemists. There were almost no Celestial Weapon Craftsmen. Naturally, Duan Lingtian did not only see mediocre Celestial Alchemists wearing Celestial Masters robes with the word Kun on them, there were also primitive Celestial Alchemists wearing Celestial Masters robes with the word Kun on them. However, the number of primitive Celestial Alchemists was far less than the number of mediocre Celestial Alchemists. Master Situ, don't all of you have the habit of wearing Celestial Master's robes? Duan Lingtian asked curiously as he looked at Situ Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing. Although he was a prominent Celestial Alchemist now, and there was a stronghold in Tai-E City where he could receive a Celestial Master's robe, he had not gone to receive a Celestial Master's robe since there was no occasion where he had to wear it. We only wear our Celestial Master's robes when we need to prove our identities. For example, we'll be wearing our Celestial Master's robes during the Alchemy Conference in a month's time. Situ Ming smiled as he explained. I see. Realization dawned on Duan Lingtian. Then he smiled wryly and said, I didn't expect I'd have to wear a Celestial Master's robe during the Alchemy Conference. Otherwise, I would have gone to the stronghold of the Alliance of Celestial Masters in Tai-E City to obtain a Celestial Master's robe before I left. There shouldn't be a stronghold of the Alliance of Celestial Masters in Alchemy City, right? Duan Lingtian asked again. No. Situ Ming shook his head. Master Duan, although there isn't a stronghold of the Alliance of Celestial Masters in Alchemy City, there are strongholds of the Alliance of Celestial Masters in the cities under the 3 major celestial sects of the Barren Land around Alchemy City. If you want a Celestial Master's robe, I can accompany you there. He Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai-E Celestial sect, said to Duan Lingtian when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. Master Duan, if you don't mind, I have an extra Earth Celestial Master's robe that I've only worn once. Yu Zhongjing said as he looked at Duan Lingtian. Of course, I don't mind. Duan Lingtian shook his head. If that's the case, thank you, Master Yu. Duan Lingtian was not a clean freak. Even so, it was easy for him to clean the celestial master's robe that was given to him by Yu Zhongjing. What a beautiful woman. I've never seen such a beautiful woman in my life. It would be such a blissful thing to be able to spend a night with her. Don't think about it. Did you not expect the woman to be taken? The purple-clad young man next to her has an extraordinary aura. It's obvious he's not a simple person. It's not just the purple-clad young man next to her who has an extraordinary aura. It's the same for the other 4 people as well. This is especially true for the old man in the lead. Although he looks like an ordinary old man, people like that are usually the most terrifying. Whether it's their mannerisms or their mannerisms, they don't seem like people from ordinary forces in the 6 southeastern regions. I wonder which top sect they belong to in the 6 southeastern regions? As Duan Lingtian and the others passed by, Huan Er, who was not wearing a veil and hat, became the center of attention. The passers-by whispered among themselves as they marveled at Huan Er's peerless beauty. At the same time, they could tell Duan Lingtian and the others were extraordinary as well. For this reason, although many people were drooling over Huan Er's beauty and wanted nothing more than to snatch her away, they did not dare to act rashly. Make way, make way. Do you know who my young master is? He's the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect. If you don't want to die, get out of my way. As the arrogant words resonated in the air, the crowd in front of Duan Lingtian and the others parted to form a path for them. A few moments later, a white-clad young man riding a giant tiger that was about 2 meters tall appeared before Duan Lingtian and the others. Moreover, in front of the white-clad young man's mount, there were 3 burly men who were half-naked to the waist clearing the way for him. The young master of the profound heaven celestial sect? The profound heaven celestial sect? The strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions? Chapter 28-28. The Profound Heaven Celestial Sect? Duan Lingtian's eyes widened slightly. He had heard about the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect when he was on his way to Alchemy City in the Barren Land. He knew the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect was the strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions. The Profound Heaven Celestial Sect was so strong that the Blissful Sect and 2 other top sects had to join forces to stand a chance against them. I didn't expect the first person I met in Alchemy City would be from the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect, one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions. Duan Lingtian's eyes quickly landed on the white-clad young man riding a 2-meter-tall tiger. He saw that the other party was like a crowned jade, with a dignified appearance. At first glance, he could be considered a talent. He's the young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect? When Duan Lingtian recalled the arrogance of the 3 burly men who cleared the way for the white-clad young man, it was not difficult for him to figure out the white-clad young man's identity. At the same time, he did not have a good impression of the white-clad young man. Regardless of whether the burly men had been ordered by the white-clad young man to arrogantly clear the path for the white-clad young man, Duan Lingtian was still in the wrong. At this moment, Duan Lingtian heard whispers among the passers-by. He's Bai Yuxian, the young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect? Is the 2-meter-tall tiger he's riding, the crimson electric white tiger, given to him by a 10 Directions celestial duke in the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect on his 200th birthday? The red electric white tiger? Could it be a celestial beast without intelligence that was raised by a 10 Directions celestial duke in the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect? It's the red electric white tiger. I don't think there are more than 5 celestial beasts raised by a celestial duke in the 6 southeastern regions, right? Duan Lingtian was taken aback when he heard the whispers. Then, he shifted his gaze to the 2-meter-tall white tiger under the young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect. The red electric white tiger? An unintelligent immortal beast at the immortal monarch level? Duan Lingtian's pupils shrank again. Never did he think that he would be able to encounter an immortal lord-level immortal beast here. One had to know that the highest cultivation level he had seen in the past was an unintelligent immortal beast, which was only at the peak of the great golden immortal level. However, this unintelligent immortal beast was actually an immortal lord-level immortal beast? Duan Ling Tian was still in shock when he discovered Bai Yuxian's celestial beast was a celestial duke with no intelligence. At this moment, the people around him began to whisper among themselves. Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, is said to be the most outstanding genius in the sect in the past 1,000 years. He's only slightly over 200 years old, but he's already a peak overarching heavenly supreme celestial. He's only a step away from becoming a celestial duke. In the 6 southeastern regions, I think only Murong Bing from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect has a similar innate talent as him, right? I think so. Murong Bing is also a peak great overarching golden celestial. She seems to be younger than the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect. Duan Ling Tian regained his senses when he heard these people talking about Murong Bing from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. Murong Bing was the female disciple from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect whom he had slept with in the little world left behind by the Celestial King of the Blissful sect. She was also the woman whom he had decided would belong to him. I wonder if she's attending the alchemy conference. At this moment, Duan Lingtian's attention was no longer on Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect. He did not even bother to look at Bai Yuxian. All he could think about was whether Murong Bing had come to Alchemy City in the Barren Land. Why are the three of you so noisy? How many times have I told you not to take advantage of your position to bully others? If this happens again, I'll report this to my father and punish the three of you. Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, was furious when he saw a group of people blocking his path. However, his eyes shone brightly when he saw Huan. He hurriedly shouted at his subordinates who were trying to chase the group of people in front of him away. Young master, what are you? The three burly men stopped in their tracks and turned to look at Bai Yuxian in confusion. They did not understand why their young master would say such words. In the past, they had never seen their young master behaving in such a manner. Miss, I'm Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, the son of the sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect. May I know your name? Bai Yuxian rode on his red electric white tiger and arrived in front of Duan Ling Tian and the others. His eyes immediately landed on Huan, who was standing next to Duan Ling Tian. It was as though Huan was the only person in his eyes at this moment. What a perfect woman! I thought Murong Bing from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect was the most beautiful woman in the 6 southeastern regions. I didn't expect to meet a woman who's even more beautiful than Murong Bing here. Bai Yuxian's eyes were filled with passion as he looked at Huan. Whether it was her appearance or her figure, everything about her was perfect. There was not the slightest flaw in her. Huan was extremely attractive to ordinary men. Let alone Bai Yuxian, who appeared dignified on the surface but was actually a pervert. At this moment, Bai Yuxian's attention was focused on Huan, so he did not notice it. Meanwhile, the crimson lightning white tiger's eyes glinted with fear when it looked at Huan. However, it did not reveal its fear at all. It was as though Huan was a ferocious beast in its eyes. However, I can only marry this woman as a concubine. My wife has to be Murong Bing from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. After a while, Bai Yuxian shifted his gaze to Huan's hand that was holding Duan Ling Tian's arm. His eyes turned cold as he glared at Duan Ling Tian. His gaze was as sharp as a sword, clearly showing his hostility. Brother Ling Tian, this person is so annoying, said as she looked at Bai Yuxian. She ignored Bai Yuxian's question and looked at Duan Ling Tian with a slight frown on her face. Huan, he's just a fly. Just ignore him. At this moment, Duan Ling Tian finally regained his senses. He could see the desire in Bai Yuxian's eyes when he looked at Huan. He glanced at Bai Yuxian indifferently before he said indifferently, "Don't worry." "All right." Huan nodded. Then, just as Duan Ling Tian had said, she ignored Bai Yuxian and did not even look at him. Bai Yuxian's expression darkened immediately. "May I know your name and which sector you from? This is the first time I've met someone who dares to disregard me in the 6 southeastern regions." Bai Yuxian asked coldly as he looked at Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian ignored Bai Yuxian's question. He looked at Hishan and said with a faint smile on his face, "Old ancestor, let's go." The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect was infuriated by the three burly men's rude behavior. If he was not wary of the profound heaven celestial sect, he would have killed them. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, he raised an eyebrow. "Let's go." As soon as he finished speaking, Tai old ancestor stepped forward, not giving way to Bai Yuxian. He walked straight towards Bai Yuxian and his red electric white tiger. Duan Lingtian and the others followed closely behind. Who are they? How dare they disrespect the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect? They must be from one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so arrogant in front of the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect. I agree. They must be from one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions. When the onlookers saw Duan Lingtian and the others walking toward the people from the profound heaven celestial sect, an uproar broke out among the onlookers. How arrogant! Bai Yuxian's expression was unsightly when he saw Duan Lingtian and the others looking down on him. However, he did not lose his mind. Just like the onlookers, he was certain these people were from one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions as well. Which sect are all of you from? Bai Yuxian asked in a deep voice as he looked at Hishan. If your father was here, he would be qualified to question me. As for you, you're not qualified. Hishan said coldly as he glared at Bai Yuxian. Old man, you're seeking death. How dare you be so rude to my young master? You're seeking death. Almost as soon as Hishan finished speaking, the 3 burly men, who had been left behind by Bai Yuxian and the red electric white tiger, flew past Bai Yuxian and the red electric white tiger at lightning speed, heading straight for Hishan. The 3 burly men appeared to be huge in size, but when they moved, their figures were ethereal. It was as if they were riding on the wind, and they were incomparably light. Bang, 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 bang. Waves of energy surged in the air as terrifying fist force formed a net that enveloped the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. The 3 burly men attacked at the same time. Their attacks merged together in an ingenious manner. The power of their attacks was not as simple as 1 + 2 + 1 = 3. It was extremely fast. 3-4 phenomenon's celestial dukes are able to unleash an attack that's comparable to the full strength of a 6-combination celestial duke. Not bad. If I'm not mistaken, you must be the 3 heroes of Huangjiang who joined the profound heaven celestial sect 20 years ago. Chapter 28-29. The 3 heroes of Huangjiang. As soon as Hishan finished speaking, his robe began to swell as though a gust of wind was blowing into his robe. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect's robe began to swell. Ripples spread out from his body and appeared in the void, distorting it. The ripples emanating from Hishan's body spread toward the 3 burly men. In the next moment, thush! There wasn't much of a commotion, but a soft sound spread out and entered the ears of everyone present. Then, everyone saw that the huge net formed by the 3 burly men's fists was instantly submerged by the ripples that spread out in the void. It was completely drowned out. It was as though it had never appeared. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. In the void, the ripples spread out further, slapping on the 3 burly men, causing their faces to instantly turn pale. Their bodies were also sent flying like arrows from a bow. However, the moment the ripples in the air hit the 3 burly men, a few of the stronger people in the crowd clearly saw that the ripples in the air had already reached the 3 burly men. The ripples suddenly shrank and did not continue to spread outwards. Even so, the 3 burly men were sent flying and fell to the ground in a wretched state. They struggled for a while, but they failed to get up. They could only sit cross-legged on the ground and consume healing pills to heal their injuries. After a while, their complexions finally eased. How dare you injure the people of the profound heaven celestial sect? Bai Yuxian glared at Hishan when he saw his 3 companions were severely injured and no longer had the strength to fight. He tried to suppress the fear in his heart. Hishan scoffed. He ignored Bai Yuxian and walked toward Bai Yuxian, who was riding the red electric white tiger. He did not intentionally walk toward Bai Yuxian. It was just that Bai Yuxian happened to be in their path, and they didn't want to take a detour, so they could only go this way. Duan Ling Tian and the others followed closely behind the old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial race. As He Shan approached Bai Yuxian, he raised his hand, intending to force Bai Yuxian's red lightning white tiger back. Bai Yuxian's expression changed drastically. Roar! Under everyone's watchful eyes, Bai Yuxian's red electric white tiger let out a low roar. This low roar was somewhat lacking in energy. In fact, anyone who had studied the roars of beasts would be able to clearly hear the grievance and fear in the red electric white tiger's roar. In the next moment, before He Shan made his move, Bai Yuxian was about to say something when he saw He Shan was about to attack. Boom! As the earth trembled slightly, the red lightning white tiger that Bai Yuxian was sitting on moved to the side, as if it had lost all its strength. Without any warning, it fell to the ground. Even Bai Yuxian, who was on its back, was so frightened that his face changed. The red electric white tiger lay on the ground like a docile kitten. Its huge body was trembling. At the same time, it turned to look at Huan, who was getting closer to it. Fear and helplessness could be seen in its eyes. It was as though Huan was a scourge. Naturally, Duan Ling Tian and the others were the only ones who noticed the red electric white tiger's gaze on Huan at this moment. The rest of the people, including Bai Yuxian, who had just regained his senses, did not notice this. He thought that the red electric white tiger was so scared by He Shan's tyrannical power that it prostrated on the ground, shivering and not daring to move. This little girl is not as simple as she seems. The old ancestor turned to look at Huan, with a hint of surprise in his eyes. Then, he turned back and continued on his way. That red electric white tiger is afraid of Miss Huan? Who is Miss Huan? Sidu Ming, Yang Chong, and Yu Zhongjing looked at Huan in shock. After a long while, they withdrew their gazes and followed after He Shan. As Duan Ling Tian and Huan continued to move forward, he took a few more glances at Huan before he sent a voice transmission to her. Huan, although you're in your human form, your bloodline should be able to detect the Thousand Phantoms Ice Fox's aura, right? This was Duan Lingtian's guess as well. Due to the aura of the Thousand Phantoms Ice Fox, the crimson electric white tiger was afraid of her. Although the red electric white tiger was an immortal beast without intelligence, it still had survival instincts. If it encountered a stronger immortal beast, it would still be afraid when it sensed the aura of a stronger immortal beast. Brother Ling Tian, I haven't fully matured yet, so the Thousand Phantoms Ice Fox's aura in my bloodline is still very faint. The reason the little white tiger is so afraid of me is probably because of the Phantom Fox's aura in my bloodline, Huan replied. The Phantom Fox clan is one of the most powerful celestial beasts in the Devata realms. The aura of a Phantom Fox is enough to deter most celestial beasts. Duan Ling Tian nodded. I see. Duan Ling Tian finally understood Huan's words. She knew the red electric white tiger was afraid of her. Under the watchful eyes of the others, the group of people from the Tai Yi celestial sect left. Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, sat on the red electric white tiger that was lying on the ground. I don't care who you are. I, Bai Yuxian, won't let this matter rest. Bai Yuxian swore inwardly as he glared at Duan Ling Tian and the group of people from the Tai Yi celestial sect. They're definitely from the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to offend the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect. It seems like the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect is in a difficult position this time. As the onlookers discussed among themselves, some of them shifted their attention to Bai Yuxian. At this moment, Bai Yuxian ignored the red lightning white tiger that was about to stand up and flew away from it. Before the attention of the people around him was fully focused on him, he floated away in another direction. He left the red electric white tiger and his 3 subordinates behind him. He left just like that? Why did he stay? Hasn't he embarrassed himself enough? I've long heard of Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect. Rumor has it that he's always high and mighty. Wherever he goes, people would surround him like stars surrounding the moon. It's worth the trip to see him embarrass himself today. Many people felt it was worth the trip to see Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, embarrass himself. And these three people? Earlier, the old man who heavily injured them with a single move seemed to have called them the Yellow River Three Xiong? What's that? At the same time, some people looked at the three burly men curiously. The three heroes of Huangjiang are notorious bandits in the Cross region. Although they're only 4 phenomenon celestial dukes, they can kill even a 5-element celestial duke if they join forces. One of the people from the Cross region said. As he spoke, his eyes were filled with fear and alarm as he looked at the three burly men. That's right. Over the years, at least 10 5-star celestial dukes have died in their hands. Another person from the Cross region chimed in. Many people in the surroundings gasped when they heard this. Earlier, when the old man said the 3-4 phenomenon celestial dukes were able to unleash an attack that's comparable to the full strength of a 6 combination celestial duke, I didn't believe him. I thought the old man was flattering himself. I didn't expect it to be true. With their combined strength, they're able to unleash an attack that's comparable to the full strength of a 6 combination celestial duke. With their strength, unless one's a 5-star celestial duke, one wouldn't be a match for them. That old man didn't even move his hand. He merely released his celestial origin energy and destroyed the 3 heroes of Huangjiang's attack. Not only that, but he even injured them. He's at least a 7-star celestial duke, right? Everyone's attention shifted to Hishan, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, who had attacked earlier. Could it be that none of you noticed, at the very last moment, that Senior still held back? If he didn't stop in time, not only would the 3 heroes of Huangjiang have died, but the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect and his red electric white tiger would have died as well. A middle-aged man said coldly when he heard many people speculating that the old man was a 7-star celestial duke. I remember now. While many people's attention was focused on the middle-aged man, another middle-aged man in the crowd exclaimed, "No wonder I thought that Senior looked familiar. It's him. It's him." Who's that? Everyone turned to look at the middle-aged man when they heard his words. Hurry up and tell us. I'm so anxious. Brother, can you not keep me in suspense? A group of people looked at the middle-aged man and urged him to speak. I was fortunate enough to meet that Senior during the alchemy conference 300 years ago. If I'm not mistaken, he's the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. He was already an 8-trigram celestial duke 300 years ago. Faced with the crowd's urging, the middle-aged man took a deep breath. After suppressing the surging emotions in his heart, he slowly opened his mouth. The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect? He's the strongest person in the Tai celestial sect, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. No wonder he's so strong. Chapter 2830. As it turns out, he's an 8-trigram celestial duke. No wonder. The Tai celestial sect is a top sect in the wasteland. However, it's said that the strongest person in the Tai celestial sect is the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. He's only an 8-trigram celestial duke. Why is he not afraid of the profound heaven celestial sect? That's right. He didn't show any respect to the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect at all. Isn't he afraid of bringing disaster to the Tai celestial sect? After learning about the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, many people began to discuss among themselves. They felt the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect would bring disaster to the Tai celestial sect. At this moment, someone in the know refuted the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect. It's true that the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect didn't show any respect to the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, but why should he? After all, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect is just a junior. That's right. Although the profound heaven celestial sect is stronger than the Tai celestial sect, They're both top sects in the 6 southeastern regions, so they're on equal footing. Who knows if the Tai celestial sect still has a 10 directions celestial duke in the 6 southeastern regions? That's right. If the profound heaven celestial sect makes a move against the Tai celestial sect, what happened 100,000 years ago might happen again. The old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect has already shown the profound heaven celestial sect enough respect. If it weren't for the profound heaven celestial sect, do you think the 3 people beside the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect would be able to survive? Indeed. If they hadn't joined the profound heaven celestial sect and were still sectless cultivators, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect wouldn't have spared their lives. After Duan Lingtian and the others left, the place where they had a conflict with Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, became even more lively. Duan Lingtian and out of the Tai celestial sect. With He Shan leading the way, Duan Lingtian and the others soon arrived at the Tai celestial sect's residence in Alchemy City in the Barren Land. Master Duan, I didn't go overboard today. I've given the profound heaven celestial sect enough face, so there's no need to worry about the profound heaven celestial sect. However, Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, won't let this matter rest. Before parting ways, He Shan looked at Duan Lingtian and said solemnly, "Therefore, if there's nothing important, it's best if you don't leave this mansion without permission. Even if you want to leave, remember to let me know. I'll go with you." Not bad. Situ Ming nodded in agreement. Then, he looked at Duan Lingtian and said solemnly, "Master Duan, in the next month, if you want to leave, remember to inform the old ancestor. Don't leave without permission." As the young sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect, Bai Yuxian's strength is not to be underestimated. Moreover, his strength isn't something you and Miss Huan can contend with. Situ Ming reminded Duan Lingtian. Although Yang Chong and Yu Zhongjing did not say anything, they nodded in agreement. Understood. Duan Lingtian nodded. Even if He Shan and Situ Ming did not warn him, he would not have left without permission. Although he had acted recklessly in front of Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, that was only because He Shan was there. Therefore, he was not worried Bai Yuxian would do anything to him. If he left the mansion on his own accord and left He Shan's protection, it would be easy for Bai Yuxian to take revenge on him. I'm still too weak, Duan Lingtian thought to himself. After bidding farewell to He Shan and the others, Duan Lingtian sighed inwardly as he parted ways with them. At this moment, Duan Lingtian and Huan entered a large courtyard in the mansion. This was the place they had chosen to stay. It was not far from where He Shan and the others were staying. If anything happened, they would be able to look out for each other. There were 3 rooms in the courtyard. The courtyard was spacious, and it was filled with flowers and plants. There were even a few small trees growing in the courtyard. It was a refreshing and comfortable place. Brother Lingtian, is the profound heaven celestial sect very powerful? Why do I feel like even that old man is afraid of the profound heaven celestial sect? Huan asked curiously after they entered the courtyard. Duan Lingen, the profound heaven celestial sect is very powerful. In Huan's opinion, the old man who brought them to Alchemy City was someone whom even the sect leader of the Tai celestial sect feared. He was also the strongest person in the Tai celestial sect. Since such a powerhouse was afraid of the profound heaven celestial sect, Huan could not help but feel curious about the profound heaven celestial sect. Naturally, she was only curious about the profound heaven celestial sect. Duan Lingtian had learned a lot about the profound heaven celestial sect from He Shan, the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, and the others. However, since Huan was meditating on her celestial methods and divine abilities at that time, she did not hear their conversation. For this reason, she did not know much about the profound heaven celestial sect. The profound heaven celestial sect is the strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions. Duan Lingtian explained the strength of the profound heaven celestial sect and its current status in the 6 southeastern regions to Huan in detail. He was worried that she would not be able to comprehend his words. The Profound Heaven Celestial Sect has 3 10 Directions Celestial Dukes? Although had always been calm, she was still shocked when she learned the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect had 3 10 Directions Celestial Dukes. Brother Ling Tian, if I'm not mistaken, the old man who brought us here, the strongest person in the Tai Celestial Sect, is only an 8 trigrams Celestial Duke, right? Huan asked. Yes. Duan Ling Tian nodded. The old man is indeed an 8 trigrams Celestial Duke. There's a 9 palaces Celestial Duke between an 8 trigrams Celestial Duke and a 10 directions Celestial Duke. In other words, the old man's strength is 2 levels lower than the 3 10 directions Celestial Dukes in the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect. Honor muttered to herself, the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect definitely has 9 palaces Celestial Dukes below 10 directions Celestial Dukes. Based on this, there's no doubt the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect is much stronger than the Tai Celestial Sect. Brother Ling Tian, Huan suddenly said. Since the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect is so much stronger than the Tai Celestial Sect, why did the old man treat the young sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect in such a manner? Isn't he worried the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect, the young sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect, would attack the Tai Celestial Sect in a fit of rage? If the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect attacks the Tai Celestial Sect, the Tai Celestial Sect won't be a match for them, right? Huaner asked. Based on the strength of the two sects, if the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect attacks the Tai Celestial Sect, the Tai Celestial Sect won't be able to fight back at all. Even if the other two sects in the wasteland were to attack, they wouldn't be able to stop the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect. Duan Ling Tian said. If that's the case, why did the old man treat the young sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect in such a manner? Isn't he afraid the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect would avenge his son? Huang asked again. The old ancestor represents the Tai Celestial Sect. As one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions, the Tai Celestial Sect has its own dignity. If the old ancestor is afraid of the young sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect, it won't take long for the entire Alchemy City to spread rumors about the Tai Celestial Sect. Sometimes, there are some things that we can't back down on. Duan Ling Tian said. Moreover, the old ancestor didn't go overboard. If the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect stands up for his son, his reputation will be tarnished. Moreover, even if the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect wants to attack the Tai Celestial Sect, the high-ranking officials of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect and the 3 10 Directions Celestial Dukes of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect might not agree to it. Duan Ling Tian said. But with the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's strength, it shouldn't be difficult for them to annihilate the Tai Celestial Sect, right? That's right. Duan Ling Tian nodded. Then his eyes glinted as he said, based on the strength of the two sects, who knows if the Tai Celestial Sect doesn't have a 10 Directions Celestial Duke? I heard from the old ancestor that about 100,000 years ago, there was a powerful sect in the general region. It was the strongest sect in the 6 southeastern regions at that time. It had 5 10 Directions Celestial Dukes. It was even stronger than the current Profound Heaven Celestial Sect. At that time, the young sect leader of the Tai Celestial Sect accidentally killed a descendant of a 10 Directions Celestial Duke from the Tai Celestial Sect. The sect leader of the Tai Celestial Sect said he was willing to use his son's life to appease the other sect. After all, the strongest person in the Tai Celestial Sect at that time was an 8 trigrams Celestial Duke. For the sake of the sect leader of the Tai Celestial Sect had no choice but to sacrifice his son's life. However, even after the sect leader of the Tai Celestial Sect sacrificed his son's life, the other sect still refused to let the matter rest. The 10 Directions Celestial Duke who had lost his descendant personally killed all the powerhouses in the Tai Celestial Sect who were Celestial Dukes and stronger. Then, he planned to annihilate the Tai Celestial Sect. At this critical moment, 2 10 Directions Celestial Dukes appeared. Their strength was close to that of a one basic Celestial King, and one of them easily killed the 10 Directions Celestial Duke from the Tai Celestial sect. After that, the 2 10 Directions Celestial Dukes went to the other sect and killed the remaining 4 10 Directions Celestial Dukes. Soon after, the other sect was annihilated by the 2 10 Directions Celestial Dukes. Chapter 2831. The 2 10 Directions Celestial Dukes were the older generation of the Tai Celestial sect. They had broken through and become celestial kings 10,000 years ago and left the Tai Celestial sect. Many people thought the 2 10 Directions Celestial Dukes had gone to the central area of the Southern Heaven territory. Who knew they were still guarding the Tai Celestial sect in the borderlands? Even now, many people think the 2 10 Directions Celestial Dukes from the Tai Celestial sect are still guarding the Tai Celestial sect in the borderlands. Unless the Tai Celestial sect is in danger again, they won't come out. Duan Lingtian said. This is because their cultivation base has regressed to that of a 10 Directions Celestial Duke. This means they have given up on becoming a Celestial King. Because of the restriction of the formation that separates the Central Region and the Borderlands, their cultivation has dropped from the Immortal King level to the Immortal Duke level. If they want to become Immortal Kings again, it will be harder than ascending to the heavens. After that incident, there were very few conflicts between the forces in the 6 southeastern regions. Even if there were conflicts, they wouldn't go so far as to annihilate the entire sect. Nobody knows if there's a 10 Directions Celestial Duke hiding in the shadows to protect the sects they annihilated. After all, a 10 Directions Celestial Duke is much stronger than an ordinary 10 Directions Celestial Duke. A 10 Directions Celestial Duke can easily defeat or even kill an ordinary 10 Directions Celestial Duke. More than 100,000 years ago, when the Tai Celestial sect was on the brink of destruction, the 2 10 Directions Celestial Dukes from the Tai Celestial sect are a perfect example. Duan Lingtian explained to Huan, why the Profound Heaven Celestial sect would not easily attack the Tai Celestial sect. He also explained the difference between the central area and the borderlands of the Southern Heaven territory and the formation that separated the two areas. I see. Huan took a long time to digest Duan Lingtian's words before she nodded. She did not fully comprehend Duan Lingtian's words. Let's rest for a few days first. After that, we'll go out with the Patriarch. Duan Lingtian said. Duan Lingtian knew there was a huge gap between his strength and Bai Yuxian's, the young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial sect, so he wanted to focus on his cultivation to raise his cultivation base as soon as possible. However, he also knew that cultivation was not something that could be achieved overnight. Moreover, the alchemy grand meeting would be held a month from now, so he wasn't in a hurry to enter into closed-door cultivation. Apart from that, he could tell that Huan was very interested in everything in Alchemy City. It was as though she wanted to explore the entire city as soon as possible. Sure. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Huan's eyes lit up with anticipation. Then you should go back to your room and rest. Duan Lingtian smiled. After Huan entered her room, Duan Lingtian entered his room as well. However, he did not cultivate. Instead, he took out his Prominent Celestial Pill Cauldron and began to refine Prominent Celestial Pills. The Alchemy Grand Meeting will be held in a month's time. Before that, I have to familiarize myself with alchemy so that I won't perform poorly during the Alchemy Grand Meeting. This was what Duan Lingtian was thinking. Meanwhile, hey, did you hear? The young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial sect is in trouble this time. The young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial sect? Stumble? That's impossible. Who's so capable that he's in trouble? You don't know, right? The young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial sect was defeated by someone from the Tai Celestial sect. Moreover, it's the 8 trigram Celestial Duke from the Tai Celestial sect. The Tai Celestial sect? That sect in the wasteland? As far as I know, the strongest person in the sect is an 8 trigram Celestial Duke. Even the 8 trigram Celestial Duke from the Tai Celestial sect wouldn't dare to offend the young master of the Profound Heaven Celestial sect, right? What if the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect provoked the 8 trigrams celestial sect first? The Tai celestial sect is not simple. Back then, even a powerful sect with 5 10 directions celestial dukes in the 6 southeastern regions was annihilated by a reclusive powerhouse from the Tai celestial sect. That's right. After the 2 reclusive powerhouses rebuilt the Tai celestial sect, they left. It's very likely that they're still in the 6 southeastern regions. I think they're still in the 6 southeastern regions. Let alone 10 directions celestial dukes. Even people like us have endless lifespans. Since they've given up on becoming celestial kings, it's very likely they're determined to stay in the borderlands. It's said that it's not only the Tai celestial sect, but the other sects in the 6 southeastern regions also have reclusive powerhouses. For this reason, no matter how big the conflicts between the sects in the 6 southeastern regions are, they won't go so far as to annihilate the entire sect. News of the conflict between Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, and Duan Ling Tian's group quickly spread throughout Alchemy City. Everyone in Alchemy City knew about this matter. Damn it! Bai Yuxian, the young master of the profound heaven celestial sect, flew into a rage when he heard the news. Do those people have nothing better to do? Why are they so determined to kill me? I won't let those people from the Tai celestial sect get away with this. I won't let them get away with this. Bai Yuxian's eyes glinted coldly. Father! After taking a deep breath, Bai Yuxian could no longer hold himself back. He left his residence and looked for his father, the sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect. This time, the sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect led the group of people from the profound heaven celestial sect to Alchemy City. This was a tradition of the Alchemy Conference. Among the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions, unless the top experts of the sects were to personally lead the participants to the Alchemy Conference, the sect masters would usually lead the participants personally. Xian, you came at the right time. The sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect was a middle-aged man with a medium build and ordinary appearance. He frowned slightly when he saw Bai Yuxian. He asked in a deep voice, "What's the matter with the rumors? Why did you provoke the people from the Tai celestial sect? Also, why did you leave behind the Red Lightning White Tiger and the 3 Tong brothers? The people from the Tai celestial sect must have left, right? They're not a threat to you, right? Moreover, if the 8 trigrams celestial duke from the Tai celestial sect wanted to kill you, you wouldn't have had a chance to escape." The sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect's voice turned darker and darker when he spoke. Do you know? Apart from the rumors about you kicking a steel plate, most people are saying you're cold-blooded and heartless? The 3 Tong brothers were injured because of you. Also, that Red Lightning White Tiger was a gift from your martial granduncle on your 200th birthday. If he knew that you abandoned the Red Lightning White Tiger on the streets, what would he think? The sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect looked at Bai Yuxian with a piercing gaze. Father. Bai Yuxian did not expect he would be reprimanded by his father before he could even speak. He was rendered speechless and felt wronged. What do you mean? The sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect looked at Bai Yuxian coldly and said, "If I'm not mistaken, you're here because of the matter between you and the people from the Tai celestial sect, right?" Your wise father. Bai Yuxian took a deep breath before he said with a murderous look in his eyes, "Father, the 8 trigrams celestial duke from the Tai celestial sect clearly knows I'm your son, but he didn't give you any face at all. Not only did he not give me face, but he also didn't give you any face." Before Bai Yuxian could finish speaking, the sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect interrupted him. "What do you think?" The sect leader of the profound heaven celestial sect glared at Bai Yuxian and said, "Don't tell me you want me to stand up for you and deal with the 8 trigrams celestial duke from the Tai celestial sect? Father, if you don't do anything, you'll only embarrass yourself." Bai Yuxian said. It was obvious he had done his homework before coming here. He wanted to drag his father into this as well so they could go against the 8 trigrams celestial duke from the Tai celestial sect. As long as father is willing to help me deal with the old ancestor of the Tai celestial sect, The others won't be a problem. At that time, that perfect and flawless woman will also become my plaything. Thinking of this, Bai Yuxian's heart was on fire again. It was as if he could already see the perfect woman in his arms. Is it a loss of face? The sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect said with a cold smile on his face. He looked at Bai Yuxian coldly as though winter had arrived, causing Bai Yuxian's heart to skip a beat. Seeing the cold smile on his father's face and the cold glint in his eyes, Bai Yuxian knew it was difficult for him to drag his father into this matter. If you know how to take my face into consideration, you will restrain yourself outside. The sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect said in a deep voice, in the past, no one dared to offend you because you relied on my reputation and the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's reputation. Even if you took the initiative to provoke others, they could only bear with it. Do you feel proud of that? Now that you've suffered outside, you're thinking about my reputation? The sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect spoke in a cold tone. Chapter 28:32. Yes, father. When Bai Yuxian heard his father's tone, he knew that his father was truly angry. He quickly responded to his father. At this time, no matter how unwilling he was, he could only compromise for the time being. Naturally, this was only a temporary compromise. However, this did not mean he would let the man from the Tai Yi Celestial Sect go. The old ancestor of the Tai Yi Celestial Sect? Bai Yuxian, swear that I won't let you leave Alchemy City alive. Although Bai Yuxian had temporarily compromised with the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect, the hatred in his heart did not lessen at all. He swore to himself that he would not allow Hishan to leave Alchemy City alive. Based on the time, the soul pearl with my soul imprint in father's hand should dissipate in half a month's time. A hint of cunning flashed in Bai Yuxian's eyes when he thought about this. Naturally, the sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect did not notice this. If there's nothing else, you can leave now. Don't go out and cause trouble for the next month. The sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial Sect's tone softened when he saw his son had given in. After all, Bai Yuxian was his only son. He did not want his son to suffer. Bai Yuxian nodded and left. Outside Alchemy City. Third senior sister, we've arrived. The Alchemy City of the Barren Land is just in front. A melodious voice rang from a green-clad young lady who was brought down from the sky. The green-clad young lady was talking to another young lady next to her. The young lady was dressed in a light purple dress. Her eyebrows were like feathers, her skin was as fair as snow, and her waist was slim. Although half of her face was covered by a thin veil, her pair of clear and cold autumn eyes, as well as her elegant and refined temperament, was enough to make everything around her pale in comparison. Apart from that, her face was partially covered by the veil. However, because the veil was half transparent, the outline of her face was faintly discernible, and one could vaguely see the perfect curve of her face. One could not help but have the urge to lift the veil and look at her face. One could imagine how charming she was even with a veil covering her face. If she were to remove the veil, how devastatingly beautiful would her cheeks be without the veil binding them? Senior sister saw it. The woman in the purple dress said with a smile. A smile blossomed on his face, as if it could turn all living things upside down. Third senior sister, you are so beautiful. When the smile on the woman's face bloomed, the green-clothed girl was stunned for a while. It was only when she landed on the ground that she let out a heartfelt sigh. You little girl, your mouth is so sweet. Is it because you don't have any more immortal crystals? The woman shook her head and smiled. Third senior sister, how can you doubt my intentions? My praise just now came from the bottom of my heart. As for the celestial crystals, I asked for quite a few from Master before I came out this time. I don't lack the little that you gave me. The green-clothed girl raised her head and said proudly. Luo, you little girl, you've been nagging the entire way. Wait until we enter Alchemy City and settle down, then our ears can finally stop for a while. Not far away, another woman glared at the green-clothed girl. This woman was considered pretty and could be considered a beauty in a crowd. However, in front of the woman in the purple dress, she seemed to be overshadowed and did not shine at all. Senior Sister Xiao, martial uncle sect leader, said that it was fortunate that I was here along the way. Otherwise, it would be very boring. Do you mean that martial uncle was wrong? The green-clothed girl looked at the delicate woman and made a funny face with her hand as she said with a smile. The delicate woman was speechless when she heard this. She naturally did not dare to say that her master was wrong. All right, Luluo, you little girl, your mouth is too harsh. Your senior sister Xiaoping was only joking with you. The leader of the group, the beautiful woman who had led the group down from the sky earlier, turned her head at this moment and looked at the green-clothed girl as she spoke to help the delicate woman out of her predicament. Martial uncle, I was only joking with senior sister Xiao. When the green-clothed girl saw the beautiful woman turn her head, she immediately stuck out her tongue playfully. You little girl. Upon seeing this, the beautiful woman turned around helplessly and continued to lead the way. This beautiful woman wore a white gown with many lotuses embroidered on it. The group of people following behind her were all women. Behind her were 3 old women and 2 middle-aged women. Behind them were the green-clothed girl, the purple-dressed girl, and 3 other young women. There were 10 people in the group. Bing, why did you come to Alchemy City in the Barren Land to observe the Alchemy Conference? You weren't interested in these things in the past. When they were near the entrance of Alchemy City in the Barren Land, the beautiful woman in the lead suddenly recalled something and turned to look at the veiled woman in the purple dress. Martial uncle. The veiled woman replied in a timely manner. I received a communication celestial talisman from Shu Qiu. She'll be coming this time as well. Shu Qiu? The beautiful woman was slightly taken aback. Then she smiled faintly and said, Are you talking about the girl from the Thousand Spiders celestial sect in the Barren Land? So she's the one who invited you. I was wondering why you're interested in the alchemy conference. If it weren't for you, Liu Luo wouldn't have come as well. The beautiful woman looked at the green-clothed girl next to the purple-dressed girl and said with a smile, Of course. If third senior sister didn't come, I wouldn't have come either. The green-clothed girl said confidently. When the group entered Alchemy City in the Barren Land, they attracted the attention of many passers-by. This was because the group of people was too eye-catching. First of all, the beautiful woman in the lead looked elegant and graceful. However, the aura she exuded made her seem superior. It was obvious she had been in a high position for a long time. Apart from that, one of the old women behind the beautiful woman looked around from time to time as though she was wary of something. Every time she looked at a passerby, they would feel as though they had nowhere to hide. There were also 3 young women and a young girl following behind the beautiful woman. Among them, the 2 young women were delicate and pretty, 1 in 1,000. Although the young girl looked young, one could tell from the contours of her face that when she grew up, her appearance would definitely surpass the 2 young women. Naturally, the most eye-catching person was the purple-dressed girl. Although the woman was wearing a veil, her eyes, eyebrows, and the faintly discernible outline of her face showed that behind the veil was definitely a peerless beauty. Ooh, poor they. Could they be from one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions? They're all women. There are only 2 top sects in the 6 southeastern regions that are made up of women. One of them is the Glazed Celestial Sect from the Light region, and the other is the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect from the General region. The passers-by turned to look at the beautiful woman, the purple-dressed girl, and the others who had just entered the city. They whispered among themselves. Based on the beautiful woman's aura and the group of people, they guessed they were from one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions. Since they were all women, most of the passers-by guessed they were from one of the top sects, the Glazed Celestial Sect or the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect. In the 6 southeastern regions, only Murong Bing from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect has such an aura and beauty that can't be concealed by a veil, right? A middle-aged man muttered to himself as he looked at the purple-dressed girl's back. Although he was muttering to himself, his voice was so loud that many people in the surroundings heard his words. In an instant, his words quickly spread and spread, causing the surrounding group of people to know of his guess. Murong Bing? If the purple-dressed girl is really Murong Bing, then everything makes sense. This group of people is from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. Now that you mention it, I remember that the beautiful woman leading the group is similar to the sect leader of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. As some people speculated that the purple-dressed girl was Murong Bing from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect, many people shifted their attention to the beautiful woman in the lead. Some of them even speculated she was the sect leader of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. She's Murong Bing? She really lives up to her reputation? I've been in the 6 southeastern regions for many years, and among all the women I've seen, she's ranked second in terms of beauty and figure. A young man said bluntly with narrowed eyes. His voice was loud, and many people heard him. Someone asked bluntly, "Have you seen a woman more beautiful than her?" The young man nodded. "Moreover, I saw her a few days ago on the street in front." As the young man spoke, he pointed in front of him. "A few days ago? The street in front? Are you talking about the white-clad girl from the Tai Celestial sect who had a conflict with the young sect leader of the Profound Heaven Celestial sect?" An old man asked in surprise. "That's right, it's her." As the young man spoke, an intoxicated expression involuntarily appeared on his face. "That woman is definitely the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life. Whether it's her appearance or her figure, they can be said to be perfect, without a single flaw. I've heard about her as well. His description is similar to yours. Unfortunately, I don't have the chance to see her." "Why are you in such a hurry?" "The people from the Tai Celestial sect must be here to attend the alchemy conference in a month's time. At that time, the woman will most likely attend the alchemy conference as well. You'll be able to see her then, right?" "You're right. I forgot about that." The whispers of the passers-by entered the ears of the green-clothed girl, who was the focus of the crowd. Immediately, the green-clothed girl was displeased. Chapter 28:33. "You're saying there's another woman who's more beautiful than my third senior sister?" The green-clothed girl stopped in her tracks. She turned around and looked at the group of passers-by who were discussing animatedly. She asked in a very unhappy manner. In her eyes, her third senior sister was the most beautiful woman she had ever seen in her life. No other woman could compare to her. Moreover, her third senior sister's innate talent in the celestial Tao was extremely high. For this reason, she had idolized her third senior sister since she was young. Naturally, the green-clad girl was displeased when she heard someone say there was another woman who was more beautiful than her third senior sister. Liu Luo. When the green-clad girl stopped in her tracks, the other 9 people who were with her stopped in their tracks and turned around as well. The purple-clad girl standing next to the green-clad girl looked at her and said with a faint smile on her face, "The Devata realms are huge, and the 6 southeastern regions are huge as well. It's normal for someone to be more beautiful than your third senior sister." Evidently, compared to the green-clothed young lady, the purple-clothed young lady did not care about the comments of those people. "Third senior sister, I don't believe there's someone more beautiful than you," the green-clad girl said with a pout. "Junior sister Liu Luo, everyone has their own sense of beauty. They might think the woman they've seen is more beautiful than junior sister Bing, but I don't think so as well." At that moment, another woman who had not spoken the entire time, and who appeared to be relatively steady, spoke in a timely manner. "That's right." Another young woman who had bickered with the green-clad girl earlier chimed in, "Junior sister Liu Luo, let alone you, even I, Xiao Ping, don't agree with their words. Moreover, junior sister Bing is wearing a veil so they can't see her face clearly. It's normal for them to misjudge her. Moreover, didn't they say the woman is from the Tai Celestial sect? At most, we can ask Master to bring us to visit the Tai Celestial sect. At that time, we'll be able to see the woman's face. At that time, we'll let junior sister Bing compete with her." Xiaoping said. "Junior sister Liu Luo, senior sister Xiaoping, and senior sister Yu Huan. Let's not keep senior uncle, junior granduncle, and the 4 masters waiting for too long. Let's go," the purple-clad girl said to the 3 women. Then he added, "I don't care about these topics, So why should you care? Bing is right. She doesn't even care about such boring topics, so why are you three so agitated? Let's go. At the same time, the beautiful woman leading the group said to the girl in green and the other two. After he finished speaking, he walked directly towards the inner city of Alchemy City. The three old women and two middle-aged women followed closely behind him. The purple-dressed woman also followed. Only the girls named Xiao Ping and Yu Huan and the green-clothed girl named Lu Luo remained. They exchanged glances, and in the end, Xiao Ping and Yu Huan followed behind the purple-dressed girl. Only Lu Luo was left behind. I'll meet that woman from the Tai Yi Celestial Sect. If she's not prettier than my third senior sister, you should count your blessings. Otherwise, I'll beat you up every time I see you. Lu Luo remained where she was, glaring fiercely at the young man who had started the conversation. Remember this. My name is Lu Luo, and I'm the last disciple of Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect. In the end, Lu Luo said these words before leaving. As Lula followed behind the purple-dressed woman and her group, they drifted away. Only when their figures disappeared before everyone's eyes did everyone regain their senses. Did she say she's the last disciple of Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect? Now, we can confirm she's from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect. Does this mean the purple-dressed girl whom the green-clothed girl referred to as third senior sister is Murong Bing from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect? Based on what I know, Murong Bing is Wang Danfeng's third direct disciple. Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect, is the daughter of the only 10 Directions Celestial Duke in the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect? I heard the 10 Directions Celestial Duke is the only male in the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect. He's not a true member of the sect, he's only a revered elder in name. He protects the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect because his wife used to be the sect leader of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect. Moreover, he has promised his wife that he'll protect the sect for the rest of his life. The crowd discussed among themselves and confirmed the green-clothed girl and the others were from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect. Based on their conversation, they revealed another piece of information. The 10 Directions Celestial Duke was the only male in the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect. Although the man had a close relationship with the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect, he was not a true member of the sect. The people from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect are here as well. Currently, there are more than 10 people from the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions. As the Alchemy Conference draws closer, more and more people from the top sects will come. I wonder if Sun Chao, the chief celestial alchemist of the Blazing Sun Celestial Sect in the Light region, will be able to maintain his position as the #1 prominent celestial alchemist in the Alchemy Conference? If Sun Chao can continue to win, his reputation as the #1 celestial alchemist in the 6 southeastern regions will be solidified. There's still a month until the Grand Alchemy Conference. I'm really looking forward to it. After the people from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect left, the conversation quickly shifted to another topic. After all, the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect from the general region was not the only top sect that had come to Alchemy City in the Barren region. There were other top sects as well. A single top sect was not enough to attract all the attention. On the other side, third senior sister, that guy said someone is prettier than you. Aren't you unhappy at all? Among the group of people from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler Sect, Liu Luo looked at the purple-clad woman next to her in confusion. In her opinion, if she was her third senior sister, she would definitely be unhappy because of that person's words. There's nothing to be unhappy about. Upon hearing Liu Luo's words, the purple-clad woman, Murong Bing, shook her head slightly. Her expression was as calm as usual. Why? Liu Luo asked again. Because I'm indeed not as good as that woman from the Tai Yi Celestial Sect. Murong Bing replied. Then she added, of course, even if that woman from the Tai Yi Celestial Sect is not as good as me, I wouldn't care about what other people say. Wouldn't it be tiring for me to care about everyone's words? What? Liu Luo did not pay attention to the second half of Murong Bing's words. However, she had no choice but to pay attention to the first half. She looked at Murong Bing in disbelief as soon as she finished speaking. Third senior sister, why you're saying you're not as good as that woman from the Tai Yi celestial sect? At this moment, apart from disbelief, a hint of shock could be seen on Liu Luo's face. HM? Meanwhile, the others, including the sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect, turned to look at Murong Bing in shock. Junior sister Bing? You're joking, right? Xiao Ping asked in disbelief. There's someone who's more beautiful than you? Isn't this too unbelievable? Yu Huan looked at Murong Bing in shock as well. In Xiao Ping's and Yu Huan's eyes, junior sister Bing was definitely the most beautiful woman they had ever seen in their lives. Although they were also women, they had no choice but to concede to Murong Bing's beauty. Little Bing, have you seen that woman from the Tai Yi celestial sect? At this moment, even the old woman whom Murong Bing had addressed as senior grandaunt could not help but ask in surprise. This old woman was none other than the old woman who had caused the passers-by to shudder just by looking at her. Senior grandaunt, I haven't seen her before. Murong Bing shook her head. Third senior sister, since you haven't seen her before, why do you say you're not as good as her? Liu Luo asked indignantly. Because your sister Shu Qiu mentioned her to me before? She said her beauty is unparalleled in the world. Murong Bing smiled faintly. However, there was a hint of bitterness in the faint smile on Murong Bing's face. Previously, when Zhou Shu Qiu had used a communication celestial talisman to tell Murong Bing about the woman, apart from mentioning how perfect the woman was, she had also emphasized that the woman was by the side of the man who had captivated Murong Bing. Even Murong Bing did not know why she was so concerned about the man whom she had only met once. She had tried many times to stop herself from thinking about him, but it was to no avail. She could not help but think about him. This was especially so when she learned from Zhou Shu Qiu that there was more than one woman by his side. Furthermore, that woman was even more beautiful than her. This made her feel even more disappointed. Sister Shu Qiu? Liu Luo fell silent when she heard Murong Bing's words. Since Zhou Shu Qiu was her third senior sister's best friend, Liu Luo had interacted with her many times. Therefore, she knew Zhou Shu Qiu was a reliable and trustworthy person. Since Zhou Shu Qiu had said so, there was a certain degree of trust in her. Third senior sister, unless I see that woman with my own eyes, I don't believe she's as beautiful as you. Although Sister Shu Qiu said she's more beautiful than you, it might be because she suits Sister Shu Qiu's taste better. After a long while, Liu Luo was still unconvinced. She suits Sister Shu Qiu's taste, but that doesn't mean she suits me. Perhaps. Murong Bing smiled faintly before she turned to look at the beautiful woman, the sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect. Senior aunt, are we arriving soon? Murong Bing changed the topic. Clearly, she did not want to continue the topic. Since that woman is here, I'm sure he's here as well, right? Chapter 2834. The man's figure that appeared in Murong Bing's mind was a handsome purple-clad man with dashing eyebrows and bright eyes. He was none other than Duan Lingtian. I wonder if he'll look forward to my arrival. Murong Bing sighed inwardly when she thought about this. She was interested in the alchemy conference not only because her best friend, Zhou Shu Qiu, from the Thousand Spiders celestial sect of the wasteland, would be attending. More importantly, it was because the man she had been dreaming of was likely to come as well. The man was currently the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Yi celestial sect of the wasteland. He was acknowledged by 3 prominent celestial alchemists of the Tai Yi celestial sect. When she first found out about this, she was also shocked for a long time. She had originally thought that she would never cross paths with that man again in this life. The only thing she could do was to ask her best friend, Zhou Shu Qiu, to take care of him if it was possible. That would also end the ill-fated relationship between her and him. She did not expect the man to grow so quickly. In just a blink of an eye, he had left the remote area and entered the core of the wasteland. Moreover, he had even become the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Yi celestial sect, one of the 3 major celestial sects of the wasteland. I'll find you. The woman that I, Duan Ling Tian, have slept with can only be my woman. Initially, she did not leave. Instead, she hid in a corner and quietly observed the man's reaction after she left. Coincidentally, she had overheard the man's words. At that time, she felt the man was overbearing, but she did not take his words to heart. However, after she returned to the compassionate celestial traveler sect, she could not help but think about the man and his words. When she learned that her senior aunt had sent someone to kill the man, she could not help but feel worried. Therefore, she asked her best friend, Zhou Shuqiu, who happened to be in the compassionate celestial traveler sect at that time, to take care of the man after they returned to the wasteland. Perhaps you've already forgotten about me. Murong Bing sighed inwardly. This was because she had heard from Zhou Shuqiu that there was already a flawless woman by the man's side. Moreover, she had a close relationship with the man. Zhou Shuqiu had even found out that the man and the woman often cultivated in the same room. And from time to time, he would cultivate for a few months. She didn't dare to believe that there was nothing going on between that man and that woman. We'll reach it after turning 2 streets ahead. The sect leader of the compassionate celestial travelers sect replied in a timely manner. As one of the top sects in the 6 southeastern regions, it was only natural that the compassionate celestial traveler sect was given a residence similar to the Tai celestial sect's residence in Alchemy City in the Barren Land. The size of the residence was comparable to the Tai celestial sect's residence. After the people from the compassionate celestial traveler sect settled down, they returned to their respective residences. Only the green-clad girl and Murong Bing, who was waiting for the green-clad girl and the others to leave, remained in the residence chosen by the sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect. Senior aunt, why don't you bring us to the Tai celestial sect's residence? Liu Luo asked eagerly as she looked at the sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect. But, do you want to see the woman from the Tai celestial sect? Is she prettier than your 3rd senior sister? The sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect shook her head. Yes. Liu Luo did not deny it. She nodded and said, I just want to see how beautiful that woman is. Even Sister Shu Qiu said she's prettier than 3rd senior sister. Sister Shu Qiu is 3rd senior sister's best friend. There's no reason for her to side with an outsider instead of 3rd senior sister. Liu Luo had thought about this matter for a long time. In the end, she felt it was possible for an outsider to side with the woman from the Tai celestial sect, but it was impossible for Zhou Shuqiu to side with the woman from the Tai celestial sect. However, Zhou Shuqiu had said the woman was prettier than her 3rd senior sister. This made Liu Luo want to meet the woman from the Tai celestial sect even more. Bing? Do you want to have a look as well? Upon hearing Liu Luo's words, the sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect looked at Murong Bing and asked. Senior aunt, I don't want to go. Murong Bing shook her head. Since the woman was here, the man must be here as well. If she went to the Tai celestial sect now, she would definitely see the man. What would the man think if he saw her coming? Murong Bing would not do something that would make her seem cheap in the eyes of a man. Liu Luo looked at Murong Bing expectantly when the sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect asked Murong Bing about it. She knew the sect leader of the compassionate celestial sect had asked her 3rd senior sister. As long as her 3rd senior sister said she wanted to go, the sect leader of the compassionate celestial sect would definitely bring them there. However, when Murong Bing said she did not want to go, she became anxious. 3rd senior sister, aren't you curious about the woman from the Tai celestial sect at all? I don't believe you're not curious about her at all. I'm not curious. Murong Bing shook her head and said snappily, Liu Luo, do you want to go back and rest with 3rd senior sister? If you don't, 3rd senior sister will go back alone. After saying that, Murong Bing bade farewell to the sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect before she turned around and left. 3rd senior sister, wait for me. I'll go with you. Liu Luo, who was still a child, became anxious when she saw Murong Bing leaving without calling her. She did not even bother to bid farewell to the sect leader of the compassionate celestial traveler sect as she turned around and chased after Murong Bing. It was as though Murong Bing was in a hurry to reincarnate. Bing, something's not right. After Murong Bing and Liu Luo left, the sect leader of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect frowned slightly. She could not help but feel that something was amiss with Murong Bing. Earlier, when Bing rejected the sect leader of the Tai Celestial sect, she was unusually decisive. It's as though she really doesn't want to see the woman from the Tai Celestial sect. This is strange. The sect leader of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect was very observant. Based on Murong Bing's reaction, she could tell something was amiss. However, she did not expect Murong Bing to be so strange. Murong Bing was acting strangely because of the chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Celestial sect. The chief celestial alchemist of the Tai Celestial sect was none other than the man whom she had sent people to hunt down with the Shadow Void escaping talisman. As for why she wanted to hunt him down, it was because he had taken her niece's virginity. Her niece was none other than Murong Bing. Meanwhile, Murong Bing and Liu Luo stayed in the same courtyard. However, there were 2 rooms in the courtyard, so they each occupied one of the rooms. After Murong Bing entered her room, Liu Luo entered her room as well. Third senior sister is too much. What's wrong with accompanying me to have a look? She actually told senior uncle sect leader that she doesn't want to go. Liu Luo sat on the only bed in the room. She rested her chin on her hands and pouted as she muttered to herself unhappily. Based on her words, it was clear she was dissatisfied with Murong Bing's straightforward refusal to accompany the sect leader of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. After all, it had ruined her plan to visit the Tai Celestial sect. Senior uncle sect leader doesn't want to bring me, and third senior sister doesn't want to accompany me as well. I'll go by myself. I, Liu Luo, am the last disciple of the second guardian of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. Moreover, I have a senior granduncle who's a 10-directions celestial duke in the 6 southeastern regions. I'm sure the Tai Celestial sect won't dare to reject me. After sitting on the bed for a while, Liu Luo rose to her feet. Her eyes shone brightly as she left the room. In the Tai Celestial sect's residence, Master Duan Lingtian had just finished refining the prominent celestial pill, the overarching heaven pill, when a voice rang from outside. He quickly put the overarching heaven pill away and walked out of his room. Outside the courtyard, Situ Ming was standing there with an anxious look on his face. Master Situ, is there something you need from me? Duan Lingtian looked at Situ Ming with a puzzled expression on his face. Based on Situ Ming's expression, it was obvious Situ Ming had something urgent to discuss with him. Master Duan, you're finally out? I've been waiting for you for a long time. When Situ Ming saw Duan Lingtian, he heaved a sigh of relief. The anxiety on his face eased as well. Did something happen? Duan Lingtian asked curiously. It's nothing serious. Half a day ago, an uninvited guest came to see Miss Huan. Although she's not an ordinary person, we can't just bring her here. For this reason, the old ancestor sent me here to ask for your opinion. Situ Ming replied. Who asked to see Miss Huan? Duan Lingtian raised an eyebrow. The guest said she's the last disciple of Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. She also said the 10 Directions Celestial Duke of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect is her senior granduncle. Duan Lingtian nodded. However, Duan Lingtian only heard the first part of Situ Ming's words. Master Situ, you said she's the last disciple of Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect? Are you sure? Duan Lingtian asked Situ Ming bluntly as his eyes shone brightly. Yes, that's what she said. Situ Ming nodded. Bring me to her. Duan Lingtian said bluntly. Master Duan, she wants to see Miss Huan. Oh, Situ Ming smiled bitterly. No matter why she wants to see Huan, or she'll have to go through me first. Duan Lingtian said indifferently. Although his tone was calm, Duan Lingtian's eyes shone brightly. If he was not mistaken, Chapter 2835. Murong Bing was ranked 3rd among the direct disciples of Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. However, the two people ranked ahead of Murong Bing had died a long time ago. One of them was personally executed by Wang Danfeng. The other one was also killed in an accident. Duan Lingtian had learned this from Tai Tai He, the supreme elder of the Tai Yi celestial sect. He also learned that Wang Danfeng only had 5 direct disciples, and only 3 of them were still alive. Among the 3 direct disciples, Murong Bing had the highest innate talent. The 4th direct disciple and the last direct disciple were slightly inferior to Murong Bing. If this person is really Wang Danfeng's last direct disciple, then she must be Murong Bing's junior sister. Due to this reason, Duan Lingtian was eager to meet the special guest that Sidu Ming had mentioned. He wanted to know if Murong Bing was here as well. Alright, you'll meet her first. Situ Ming nodded in agreement when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. Although the special guest had an extraordinary background, he believed the old ancestor of the Tai Yi celestial sect would support Duan Lingtian as long as Duan Lingtian did not allow the special guest to meet Miss Huan. Master Duan. On the way to meet the special guest, Sidu Ming could not help but remind Duan Lingtian, that guest is quite young. Don't take it to heart if he doesn't like what he says. When Situ Ming met the special guest earlier, she had said she did not believe Miss Huan's beauty was unparalleled in the world unless she saw it with her own eyes. However, when they did not bring her to see Miss Huan, who was by Master Duan's side, the Tai Yi celestial sect's celestial alchemist, Huan, accused them of having a guilty conscience. Although Situ Ming and Sidu Ming felt helpless, they did not refute her accusation. Now, he was about to appear in front of the other party again, but he didn't bring the person that the other party wanted to see. He could imagine that the other party's next words would be even more unpleasant. Don't worry, I know what to do. Duan Lingtian nodded. If she was really the last disciple of Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the compassionate celestial traveler sect, she would be Murong Bing's junior sister. He had long regarded Murong Bing as his woman. Murong Bing's little junior sister was also his little junior sister. Under such circumstances, no matter how unpleasant the other party's words were, he couldn't be bothered with them. Furthermore, according to what Situ Ming had said, the other party seemed to be a little girl. Under Situ Ming's lead, Duan Lingtian arrived at the main hall of the Tai Yi celestial sect's residence. He immediately saw 2 people in the hall. Yang Chong was there as well, with his back facing them. Little miss, I told you to be patient. They'll be here soon. Before Duan Lingtian entered the hall, he heard Yang Chong's helpless words and could not help but shake his head. Even someone as patient as Yang Chong seemed to have lost his patience at this moment. One could only imagine how difficult it was to deal with this person. They're here. Alright, they're here. When Duan Lingtian followed behind Situ Ming and entered the main hall, Yang Chong saw them and immediately said excitedly to the slightly short silhouette, Brother Lingtian. At the same time, his eyes shone brightly as he looked at Duan Lingtian and Situ Ming as though he had seen his saviors. They're here? In the next moment, Duan Lingtian heard a pleasant voice. At the same time, he saw the figure turning around. It was a young girl dressed in green. The young girl's appearance was delicate and pretty. Although she had yet to fully mature, one could already tell that once the young girl grew up, she would definitely be a rare beauty. Do you think I'm easy to bully because I'm young? The green-clad young girl was none other than Liu Luo, a disciple of the compassionate celestial traveler sect, who had come to look for Huan. When she saw Duan Lingtian standing behind Situ Ming, her expression darkened immediately. She said angrily, Don't tell me he's Miss Huan, the one who's widely acknowledged as a peerless beauty. Liu Luo's gaze turned cold as she looked at Duan Lingtian. Little girl, are you really the last disciple of Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the compassionate celestial traveler sect? Duan Lingtian asked indifferently, completely ignoring Liu Luo's gaze. So what if I am? I don't care who you are. You're not the person I want to see. Liu Luo said coldly. Is Murong Bing your 3rd senior sister? Duan Lingtian's expression remained unchanged as he continued asking. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Liu Luo was taken aback. Then, she looked at Duan Lingtian suspiciously and asked, You know my 3rd senior sister? Of course. Duan Lingtan said indifferently, not only do I know your third senior sister, but I also have a close relationship with her. Perhaps, you can call me brother-in-law. You have a close relationship with my third senior sister? Brother-in-law? What do you mean by that? Liu Luo frowned. It was obvious she did not understand Duan Lingtian's words. However, it did not mean Situ Ming and Yang Chong, who were in the main hall, did not understand what Duan Lingtian meant. Both of them looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. Based on Duan Lingtian's words, it seemed like he had a close relationship with Murong Bing, a disciple of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. Moreover, he had asked Murong Bing's junior sister to address him as brother-in-law, so his relationship with Murong Bing was obvious. Master Duan has a close relationship with Murong Bing from the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect? Yang Chong asked Situ Ming through voice transmission. How am I supposed to know? I've never heard Master Duan mention this before. Facing Yang Chong's question, Situ Ming immediately replied with a voice transmission. I'm your third senior sister's man. Since you call her senior sister, you should call me brother-in-law. Duan Lingtian raised an eyebrow. Bullsh *T. Liu Luo refuted Duan Lingtian's words as soon as they left his mouth. My third senior sister is as pure as ice and as pure as jade. It's impossible for her to have a close relationship with a man. She's going to be the future sect leader of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. Is your third senior sister coming to the alchemy conference this time? Duan Lingtian asked. Why should I tell you? Liu Luo said disdainfully. Then, as though she had thought of something, she raised an eyebrow and said, I know. You must be trying to distract me so I'll forget my purpose for coming here today. You two old men, how dare you say you're not guilty? What do you have to say now? I've been waiting for a long time, but I didn't see Miss Huan. Instead, I saw this pretty boy. How can you not be guilty? What do you mean by peerless in the world? Those people must be blind. They even said my third senior sister isn't as beautiful as her. If she's as beautiful as my third senior sister, why is she hiding from everyone? When Liu Luo looked at Situ Ming and Yang Chong again, her words sounded like firecrackers. Even Duan Lingtian was stunned by her words. It took him a long time before he regained his senses. Situ Ming and Yang Chong looked at Duan Lingtian and shrugged helplessly. It was obvious they had experienced Liu Luo's eloquence before this. You want to see Huan, Duan Lingtian asked Liu Luo when he regained his senses. Of course. Who else would I be waiting for? Liu Luo replied. If you want to see Huan, you'll have to get my permission first. Duan Lingtian said indifferently, Tell me if your third senior sister is here or not. If you tell me the truth, I'll bring you to Huan, immediately. Do you think I'll believe you? Liu Luo looked at Duan Lingtian warily. Earlier, the two old men also said I'd be able to see Huan, very soon. However, after waiting for so long, all I got was a shameless pretty boy like you. It's one thing for you to call me a pretty boy, but what do you mean by shameless? Duan Lingtian asked with a frown on his face. You said you're my third senior sister's man. Isn't that shameless? Liu Luo said confidently. Duan Lingtian was rendered speechless. However, he did not say anything. After all, he did not know if Liu Luo would tell Wang Danfeng, the second guardian of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect, about what had happened between him and Murong Bing. If Wang Danfeng heard about it, Murong Bing would be in danger. After all, it was not as if Wang Danfeng had not personally executed her personal disciples because they had lost their chastity. Little girl, I'll tell you the truth. If you tell me if your third senior sister is here or not, I'll bring you to Huan, immediately. Duan Lingnan took a deep breath before he looked at Liu Luo and said, As for comparing your third senior sister's appearance to Huan, although I think your third senior sister is very beautiful and rare, she's still slightly inferior to Huan. That's the truth. Although I'm her man, I can't help her against my will. Duan Lingtian said. You said Huan, is prettier than my third senior sister? Liu Luo was even more displeased when she heard Duan Lingtian's words. She said, I hope you're not lying to me. If you're lying, I'll definitely ask my senior granduncle to annihilate the Tai celestial sect. Don't believe me? My senior granduncle is a 10 Directions celestial duke. It's a piece of cake for him to annihilate the Tai celestial sect whose strongest member is an 8 trigrams celestial duke. Liu Luo raised her head as though she was proud of having a 10 Directions celestial duke as her senior granduncle. Little girl, why are you so talkative? Just tell me if your third senior sister is here. I'll bring you to Huan, immediately. Duan Lingtian said impatiently. My third senior sister is here. Liu Luo said. She's here? Chapter 28:36. Duan Lingtian had been looking forward to Murong Bing's arrival. Of course, anticipation was anticipation, yet he didn't dare be sure, so he was slightly perturbed. Now, he found out that Murong Bing had come to the Barren Lands Alchemy City from the young woman in green, and he was inexplicably excited. This meant he would be able to see the woman he had long regarded as his woman again. I've already told you that it's time for you to bring me to see Huan. I hope you're not lying to me. Otherwise, I won't let you go. My senior granduncle won't let the Tai celestial sect go as well. When Duan Lingtian's eyes lit up, Liu Luo said solemnly with a solemn expression on her face. Don't worry. Since I've promised you, I'll keep my word. Duan Lingtian said indifferently. As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, he looked at Situ Ming and Yang Chong at the side and said, Master Situ, Master Yang, both of you can go about your business. Leave her to me. All right. Yang Chong hurriedly replied, afraid he would have to deal with Liu Luo again. Thank you, Master Duan. Situ Ming chimed in. Soon after, the two of them left the main hall together. In just a blink of an eye, only Duan Lingtian and Liu Luo were left in the main hall. Let's go. Duan Lingtian looked at Liu Luo who was about to speak again. As soon as he finished speaking, he turned around and walked out of the main hall. Liu Luo hurriedly followed after him. Pretty boy, I'm Liu Luo. What's your name? Liu Luo asked as she caught up to Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian replied indifferently, also, I'm not a pretty boy. If you continue to call me pretty boy, I'll go back on my word. I thought you're more honest than those two old men, but it seems like you're not that far off. In the face of Duan Lingtian's threat, Liu Luo snorted in dissatisfaction. You're trying so hard to see her because you want to verify if she's really more beautiful than your third senior sister. Duan Lingtian asked on the way. Of course. Liu Luo said matter-of-factly, I want to see how beautiful she can be. So many people say she's more beautiful than my third senior sister. My third senior sister is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I don't believe there's anyone more beautiful than her. Your third senior sister didn't come with you, which means that she doesn't care about this. You came here yourself. I think it's not because you want to stand up for your third senior sister, but because you're curious, right? Duan Lingtian's eyes flashed. His wise gaze seemed to be able to see through all of Liu Luo's thoughts. So what? In any case, since you promised me, you must bring me to see her. Liu Luo did not deny it when faced with Duan Lingtian's question. Soon after, Duan Lingtian and Liu Luo arrived at the Tai celestial sect's residence. After asking Liu Luo to wait in the courtyard, he walked to Huan Er's room and gently opened the door before entering. Before Liu Luo could follow him in, Duan Lingtian had already closed the door with a bang. That woman is in this room? She stared intently at the door of the room in front of her as though she was afraid that she would miss anyone who walked out of the room. Inside the room, Brother Lingtian, Huan called out. Since Duan Lingtian had said he would take a few days off before he left Alchemy City, Huan did not cultivate. Instead, she was comprehending the various celestial methods and divine abilities in her inherited memories. Therefore, she noticed Duan Lingtian's presence as soon as he entered the room. There's a little girl outside who wants to see you. Duan Lingtian said. Ha! Huan was taken aback when she heard Duan Lingtian's words. Little girl? Who's that? Her name is Liu Luo, and she's a disciple of the Compassionate Celestial Traveler sect. Duan Lingtun said, "I've agreed to let her see you. You just have to go out and let her have a look at you." "Since Brother Ling Tian has agreed to let her see you, I'll go out now." Wer smiled as she stood up and prepared to leave. From the beginning until the end, she did not ask why Duan Ling Tian had agreed to the little girl's request. In Huan Er's opinion, Ling Tian did everything for a reason and would not harm her. For this reason, she trusted Duan Ling Tian unconditionally and did not guard against him at all. "Let's go." Duan Ling Tian nodded and prepared to bring Huan Er out of the room. However, before he left, he could not help but add, "That little girl's mouth is very sharp. Come with me for a while and let her have a look at you for a few breaths before you come back." "All right." Huan Er nodded and followed Duan Ling Tian out of the room. "He's here." In the courtyard outside the room, Lu Luo had been staring at the door of the room. When the door opened, her eyes brightened immediately. In the next moment, she saw a familiar figure. However, this familiar figure was directly ignored by her. Her attention was completely focused on the figure who had followed Duan Ling Tian out of the room. When she saw the figure, Lulu's pupils shrank as a look of amazement involuntarily flashed across her eyes. It was as though she had seen a goddess who had descended to the mortal world. At this moment, a white figure had appeared in front of her. It was a graceful figure. The bright sunlight shone on the figure's body and face, allowing Lu Luo to clearly see the woman's appearance. The woman had a graceful figure and a peerless appearance. Lu Luo had never seen such a beautiful woman in her life. At this moment, she had no choice but to admit it. Even her third senior sister, whom she thought was the most beautiful woman in the world, paled in comparison to the white-clad woman before her. Before today, Lula found it hard to believe that such a gorgeous woman could appear in this world. The woman was wearing a thin white robe. Her beautiful cheeks were as if they were carved by the most outstanding craftsman who had gathered all the features of beauty and sculpted them for her. At the very least, Lu Luo could not tear her eyes away from the woman's face. Even though she was also a woman. Although Lulua hadn't seen many women in the past, there was no lack of beautiful women by her side, such as her third senior sister, Murong Bing. However, none of them could compare to the woman in front of her. In fact, they were much inferior. However, Lu Luo had never seen a woman like the white-clad woman before her. Although the woman in white before his eyes had a perfect and peerless appearance, other than a faint allure, there was also a purity that contradicted her allure. She also gave people a feeling that she had not experienced much of the world. It was as though she was a young girl who had just grown up and walked out of her boudoir. Too perfect. There is actually such a perfect woman in this world. Lu Luo's gaze was infatuated as she muttered to herself. Everyone had a love for beauty. Even Lu Luo was no exception. If she were to walk out, who knows how many men would be captivated by her and go crazy for her. Lu Luo could imagine, as long as it was a normal man, it would be hard for him to resist her charm. As for those men who could not control themselves, they would definitely want to take her for themselves. Fortunately, she's from the Tai celestial sect, so those men are wary of her. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to stand here so peacefully. Lu Luo thought to herself. You can go back now. A voice suddenly rang in Lu Luo's ears, causing her to regain her senses. Duan Ling Tian had asked Huan Er to return to her room. As soon as Duan Ling Tian finished speaking, before Lu Luo could even regain her senses, Huan Er returned to her room obediently. Naturally, she only behaved this way in front of Duan Ling Tian. Now that you've seen her, are you satisfied? Duan Ling Tian asked as he looked at Lu Luo, who had regained her senses. I didn't expect there to be a woman who's more beautiful than my third senior sister in this world. I wonder how many lifetimes of good fortune you've accumulated to be able to win the heart of such a beautiful woman. Lu Luo muttered to herself as she looked at Duan Lingan. She had only taken a few glances at Huan. In fact, she had been in a daze for a while. However, it was not difficult for her to see that Huan Er had not looked at Huan Er at all. From the moment Huan Er left the room to the moment she returned to her room, she did not look at her at all. Her attention was completely focused on the pretty boy in front of her. Her gaze was filled with tenderness as she looked at him. Although Lu Luo was young, she knew a lot about relationships between men and women. You're calling me a gigolo again? Duan Lingtian frowned and said with a hint of dissatisfaction, Are you kicking me to the curb after I've outlived my usefulness? So what if I kick you to the curb after you've outlived your usefulness? Now that I've seen her, you can't threaten me anymore. Lu Luo said smugly. She was secretly pleased when she saw the dissatisfaction on Duan Lingtian's face. Even the displeasure she felt earlier was gone at this moment. It was as though she had successfully taken her revenge. Lu Luo. Duan Lingtian did not bicker with Lu Luo. His expression suddenly turned serious as he looked at Lu Luo and said, I want to see your third senior sister. HM? Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Lu Luo's smug expression froze. She frowned and asked, Why do you want to see my third senior sister? Master is right. Men are all bad. They eat what's in their bowl but look at what's in the pot. You already have such a perfect woman by your side, but you still want to provoke my third senior sister. Lu Luo snorted coldly. Don't talk nonsense. There's nothing between us. I only treat her like a little sister. Duan Lingtian said with a frown. Little sister? You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.